YouTube, so we're getting it going right now.
So we're not live?
I think we are now.
Okay, great. Also in studio, TJ Smith could not be here, but Jeremy Huddleston's back. What's going on, Jeremy?
Not too much. Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back. Appreciate you filling in since TJ is a loser and bailed on us. But yeah, Nashville, Levi and Cameron McAdoo, both Pro Circuit Kawasaki points leaders for each coast, crash into each other in the main event and, lose the points lead. Just a madhouse. The points going in the 250 East was McAdoo. Vial was down by 4. Deegan down by 13. Now Vial is leading. Deegan's still down by 13, but McAdoo is now 16 down. And in the West, Levi Kitchen was leading with RJ Hampshire 15 points down. RJ is now in the points lead. Levi Kitchen down by 2. Sounds like Levi is going to be able to ride and race the rest of the season, but who knows what kind of shape he's in. But just a total mix-up in the 250 class. Crazy at Nashville.
Yeah, has any reports came out on Levi?
I don't think he had anything broken from what I heard. He thought he might have some broken ribs, but my understanding is that is not the case. Probably just some bruising, and it's still, though, bruised ribs hurt just as much as broke ribs, basically. So it's going to be a struggle.
Yeah, whenever I saw McAdoo actually pull off, I was like, man, that dude's been slammed so many times, and for him to pull off this time, it had to be pretty serious, I would think.
Yeah. Before we get rolling too far, though, this is the Race Tech Open discussion. And Race Tech does not only do suspension work. For nearly 40 years, Race Tech has been supplying the motorcycle industry with high-quality suspension components made right here in the USA. For modern to vintage, Race Tech is your go-to source for suspension performance, developing the best combination of porting, cam timing, mapping, and related components to build world-class engines is a painstaking process. Race Tech has spent an impressive number of hours doing R&D on the flow bench, dyno, CNC, and at the track to create the Race Tech Power Plan. If you follow the Race Tech Power Plan and assemble the engine correctly, you can build an engine capable of competing with anything in the world. Racetech.com for all that information. Also, you can find your local service center if you want to get your suspension fluids changed out, you want to get it all tuned up, you want to get new springs, et cetera, et cetera. Racetech.com, but yeah, they have been doing engine work. A lot of you may not know that, and they supply engine components for a lot of high-level teams. They just can't really talk about it. So Racetech.com. Scott, are we good?
I think so.
You think so? I mean,
it's streaming, but for some reason there's nobody, like, people are watching, but nobody said anything in the chat yet. So
we'll keep up with that. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this Pro Circuit mix-up? I feel like Mitch Payton has got to be like. It's every year, whether it's Faulkner. This year we're so close, like I feel like, to him getting 2 titles, and it just all falls apart. I don't know what is going on, if there's just this black cloud, if he made a deal with the devil 30 years ago for all the success he did have, and now it's coming back. Like, it's just
I know, right?
Freaky.
It makes you think, like, I've always grown up, for some reason, I always had a good, when I was little, I rode Kawasaki, and I always thought the Pro Circuit team was the coolest team, and, everybody had rode for him. So
yeah,
it was, I always, you expect the results, and then something like this happens, and it just makes you wonder, like, they're not doing anything wrong. I mean, he's had 3 different guys leading the championship this year, so it's like, it's just crazy. I don't really know how to explain it. When I saw that happen, I was like, oh my God, this would happen to Pro Circuit again. It's like, I felt for him because I've always respected that team, and it's just crazy. Like, I think Kitchen was gonna be strong and get out of it. I mean, I don't know. RJ's picking up his speed, so
get out. What do you mean by get out of it?
He hurt himself and got down on points. So get out of that situation. Like, maybe work.
He's only down by 2, so it's not.
Yeah,
awful.
I know.
With 2 races to go,
he's hurt, so that's
But you also have to think about, there's 2 races for each coast left, so there's going to be 1 regular race for Levi Kitchen and RJ, basically, and then there's going to be another showdown with a 2-point deficit, even being hurt. That's still that Levi Kitchen win the championship is still on the table. So I want to shift to the East, where Vial is now leading. Hayden Deegan's 13 down, and McAdoo is 16 down with 2 rounds left for them, one of them being a showdown. I feel like 13 points and 16-point deficits are very, very unlikely to be made up with 2 to go even a showdown, unless Vial just has a nightmare of a race like the other guys did this weekend. I feel like it's very, very high chance that Vial could win this championship. He's going to win this championship now.
Yeah, and especially how Vial has been so consistent throughout the year.
Yeah, it's been good.
I mean, besides Levi Kitchen and RJ, he's probably the next guy up being the most consistent. If you think of Deegan early on in the year, crashing out basically in the first turn, being 2 laps behind. He was strung along a couple good races and then bad start again in a East-West shootout. Then,
yeah.
But he still made his way up to, 5th, 6th, something like that. I mean, it's still good, but it's not good enough to beat the guys that's ahead of him in points.
Right. Yeah, it's really close. I mean, the points is, I feel like it's a little bit too big on the East Coast at this point, unless, again, something crazy happens. You mentioned we talked about RJ, who was on the show last week, and I had forgotten about this point, but he had said in our interview last week, Scotty, that he said, if I get the whole shot and I win, I'm going to get a start button tattooed.
He did say something like that.
I had forgotten, but he sent me a text last night. He's like, with a photo. He said, one of your listeners who's a tattoo guy sent me this photo. It was a start button tattoo.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's get this done. Yeah. So
I forgot he said that. He did.
I did too. I was like, what is it? And he's like, don't you remember?
Because he was talking about how he wasn't getting good starts.
Yeah.
You're working on him or something like that, right?
So
yeah.
I don't know, RJ. I guess you better get that tattoo, bro. You gotta do what you said. You gotta stand by your word, man.
He's got to get it done at Vegas SMX. You can do it right after that.
Right? Yeah, or just maybe this tattoo guy could just bring his equipment to the finals.
Yeah, he could
do it at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Tattoo right there on the podium.
That'd be sweet.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
That does kind of that's kind of the next thing that I was wanting to talk about was, I've heard a lot of people saying that the track was the reason for a lot of these mistakes and like the track caused all these injuries and stuff, but I don't know if I quite feel like, I just think it was just a weird. I don't know if Nashville just has a weird juju
track
about
didn't
it.
Cause that Rox's shock to blow apart.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying.
If we believe KTM and a rock hit the throttle body and caused it to stay wide open, that also is not really the track's fault.
I've had that happen. I was at a red dirt track. Buddy in front of me landed, and I was gassing like I was in the air, like bringing my rear wheel around, and a little rock clud or whatever you want to call it.
Clud?
A rock cluster? Clud? A cluster.
Clud. Okay.
Anyways, when it hits you, it goes clud, clud, clud.
Roost.
Sure.
Yeah,
okay.
Roost. Yeah.
All right.
A hard piece of roost went in between there, and it kept it wide open, like downhill, one of the most roughest downhills, and I got head shake and almost died, and luckily pulled in the clutch, and the bike was just sitting there just racing, and then I killed it, and then it fell out, and it ran fine after that. But I have had that happen. So if they're saying that's what happened, I believe it, because it's happened to me before.
Yeah, I just happened to be watching Chase when that happened.
Yeah,
because I was wondering if he was gonna finally jump that double, and it just looked like he. I don't even know what it looked like. It didn't look like it didn't look like the throttle hung. It just looked like
I thought that he went for the jump, he spun out, and then caught traction at the very end.
That's kind of what I thought, and he just did not have the distance. I started yelling, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
Sexton, and then then Lewis was sitting next to me, and Lewis is best friends with Sexton.
The captain of the ship.
Yes, he was a little unhappy, obviously. Sounds like he's okay, so that's good. Roxon, updated us today and said he broke his tib plateau, foot and toe. No surgery is required, but he's out, so that sucks. But
how fast do you think he was going when
he was hauling? But going back to what your topic was, I don't feel like any of those were track related. Even McAdoo and Kitchen getting together was just they drifted together. They made a mistake.
I agree, but one of the first things
Spinks, maybe
one of the first things I saw when I saw that Kenny had, the post that Kenny had gone down, the first 5 comments said, "This track's got to go. It's causing all these riders to get hurt and stuff." And I was like, bro, I put on there, I was like bike malfunction equals track problem. What?
I mean, they were jumping into that triple out of the corner, That's a pretty big drop, I guess, but the shocks should be able to hold up to that. That's not, and they didn't have to jump it either. So that wasn't track conditions.
I mean,
I disagree with that theory.
I do too. I've seen it, so I wanted to pose the question.
Yeah.
I mean, think of outdoors. There guys are going like 30 feet in the air, 100 feet long, and
right,
just falling down, and it's just a freak incident in my opinion.
It is kind of crazy though that like it was a Showa shocked that it happened to. And Suzuki's not the only people that ride Showa, but of course it had to happen to the Suzuki. Like I just thought that was like, of course it was the Suzuki.
Somebody I know, somebody that might sit in the studio sometimes and do the show sometimes, made a pretty funny joke. He's like, well, what they expect? I mean, the shock's 13 years old. Like the price.
Yeah. Hey, that's I've always made that joke.
I think he said that's actually not bad. It held up for 13 years.
Yeah, me and my buddy were like, he's on a 08 Suzuki. Like,
so, I'm not going to give credit to that person, but that was actually one of the funnier things.
We call him an idiot sometimes. That guy.
Okay. Yes, he is a bit of an idiot. But yeah, Jets in the 450 class. Jets back in the points lead. I mean, I don't know. Just a crazy night. Again, I don't think it was the track issues. I just think it was just one of those nights where everything starts happening all at once and things change, and the 250 championship is just mixed up. Jets back in the lead. I think at this point it's locked.
Oh, for sure.
You can't say for sure. Cooper's only down by 5. There's no for sure, but it's just to beat Jet that regularly. It's just something's going to have to happen to him too.
Yeah. I think, I mean, it can. I mean,
it can, but like, I think I just feel like there's 3 to go, man. If he just stays relatively consistent.
I mean, all it takes is for Jet to get an outside top 10 start, and then anything's possible.
True. I don't think my mind has finally shifted to it's inevitable.
Well, the bigger thing is like I usually don't do this too often, but at halfway, not even when Eli took the lead, and he was like 4 or 5 seconds
good for a little bit.
When he was like 4 or 5 seconds ahead, I was like, oh, Tomac's gone. Like he's not gonna. And then I was like, ooh,
bro. Him doubling into that corner and then tripling out.
Yeah,
I think I was like,
oh, let's go. Yeah,
gnarly.
Yeah, that was insane. And then Kenny and Jet followed him right over it. Yeah, that was nuts.
That was cool. There's only a few guys that did that double that day. Hardy Munoz.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was
Hardy freaking Munoz, baby.
He did he really did.
Oh, yeah. We were watching him qualify because me and Kellen really love to follow Hardy Munoz.
Oh, it's entertaining, yeah.
And yeah, he went for it.
So was he the first one to go for it?
I don't know. He was the first one that I think he was the first one Kellen saw.
Was that one still?
Actually, I saw Deegan do it.
Was that still when the track was like bad?
It was first session.
He sent it?
Yeah, I'm almost positive it was first
session.
Did
he make it?
No, he didn't. Deegs did.
Oh.
Munoz, no, sir.
No,
sir.
Was he close?
I mean, he got the front wheel over.
Did he go down?
He cased. No, I think he just rode out. Yeah.
I don't know how you case that.
Man. He doesn't crash.
Yeah. God, that's hard. That's impressive.
Yeah. So good. Yamaha Motor USA, a reputation for dominance. It doesn't happen overnight. It's built over decades. The YZ story is 50 years of iconic machines and groundbreaking innovations. Yamaha's new 50th anniversary edition YZs pay tribute to a half-century of championship-winning performance wrapped in stunning retro style. So check them out at YamahaMotorsports.com. I rode my 450 today. Went through some laps in. I did 2 20s. That might be a little exaggerated. I did a 20 and a 12. But, yeah, we got some riding in today. That was nice. I haven't been on the bike in about a week.
I'll do 20-minute motos, but like 3 of those laps I'm like putting around. So
I was riding good today. The track was so perfect at 6 feet under with all the moisture in the ground.
Yeah, I bet.
I was feeling good. So, and this is the first time Amber saw me ride. So, like, I was.
Oh, you were showboating?
I mean, she probably left pretty disappointed. Like, really, that's all you got? But I felt like I was hauling.
Yeah,
I was right. Yeah, it was fun. But a couple other stories. You know what? There's a couple stories I thought about talking, but let's do this first. MotoXpodShow@gmail.com. That is our email. If you want to reach out to us, you want to comment on anything, you want to get in on the top 5s, the emails, et cetera, not expert troll training top 5. If you want to get involved with those things, MotoXpodShow@gmail.com. If you guys are in the YouTube chat tonight, Veronica, quote unquote, Amber will be in studio a little bit at the end of the show. If you guys have some questions, topics, save them until she comes in. Maybe Scotty can check them out.
Oh, I'm sure the chat.
We're not going to do anything like that's going to make her uncomfortable, though. We'll just skip shit like that. So if you guys can be cool, we'll ask your questions. I also want to remind you guys that Vital MX does have a fantasy game, and there is a MotoXpod Show League. The winner this week was Coley, Coly 243. He's going to win a set of X brand goggles, so we'll ship those out here soon and get those taken care of. I'd love for you guys to come play. It's a lot of fun. Vital MX. Just go to the website, vitalmx.com. Sign up. It's a free game. Sign up. It's a lot of fun. Another cool thing that happened just real quick at Nashville, I did go by and I said, what's up to Phil, who announced his retirement this week. We really haven't talked about that. It's going to be a real bummer
apparently
to not have him around.
Apparently you put him on blast for having to sign a shirt so a guy would buy your merch.
Well, no. A guy hit me up, said he would buy the shirt, but he asked if he would pay extra. I didn't tell Phil that. If Phil would sign it with F off.
Truth comes out.
So Phil was like, really, man, I got to do this, but he did. So he signed it. That was kind of cool. A lot of just Nashville's awesome. We went out that night, hung out with Lewis. I'm not going to tell you how Lewis behaved. Lewis
think you just
can
did?
be a lot of fun. Sean went with us. Kellen Brower, we all went out. Amber hit some bars and just kind of.
I've never gone out in Nashville.
Dude.
How close is it to kind of like 6th Street? Used to be. I don't know what 6th Street's like.
It's
now.
like that, but maybe better.
Really?
It's thousands of people. Just every building is a 3-level bar, just about, with bands and music on every level.
Oh wow,
it's amazing.
Pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
So we had a blast. I would say this weekend was the most people I've ever had recognize me between in the city and the stadium. It was just nonstop.
Yeah.
There was people trying to collect the bounty on me and Amber holding hands. People were taking
that
pictures
happened fast
in Nashville on Friday night and then trying to get the money, and Steve wouldn't pay up. He said it had to be in the pits. It happened as soon as we got to the stadium Saturday morning. Got out of the car, walked to the media entrance, and there was somebody standing there and was like, hey, took the picture. I was like, all right. Yeah, it was like, no, I think we got there 9:45, 10 a.m., and by 10 a.m. it was done.
That's awesome.
Crazy. But I also got a chance to meet Ray Luzier. He is the drummer for Cochran. He's been the drummer for 16 years. One of my buddies, Todd Headley, who he did the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame. He kind of put that on, and he's been our contact for Feld. I met him this year, and he brought Ray to the race, who Ray's in Nashville, and with his kids. Ray was in the KTM pit waiting to meet Seth Rarick and Aaron Plessinger, and I got introduced, and Todd's like, dude, he's a big Korn fan. And so Ray gave me, I don't know what camera's on, Scotty. Is my camera on? One of his drumsticks, signed it to Jamie, signed his name.
Hold it closer so they can see it.
And this is a used drumstick that he used in recording the new album. So that's pretty cool. I actually probably need to give that to my stepdaughter, Hattie, who's a massive Korn fan, but I'm not ready to part with it just yet. So shout out to Ray. That was really cool.
You're gonna be trying to edit a show, and you're gonna just start tapping it and then break it.
Amber said it's kind of like Steve with Bet Spat.
Oh yeah.
Who knew that Amber knows that much about Pulp? Apparently she listens to Pulp, watches Pulp every week now. I don't think she watches us at all, but
that's rough.
We'll have to ask her about that when she comes in.
Okay. What the heck, man?
But all right, so we got a few minutes left, and TJ in our group chat raised a question earlier. He said, what happened to all the bikes that were bought during COVID? Motorsport sales and power sports sales were up so crazy a couple years ago in 2020. And now it seems like it's sort of, when you go to the track, there's not that many people, or as many people as you might expect. There's not people showing up for races. What do you think? What are your theories? Did I just come in?
Yeah, your mic came out.
Mic came unplugged. Yeah, what are the theories on that?
In somebody's garage?
You think maybe just
they want to ride it?
People just had nothing else to do, so they bought some bikes, and now they don't have time. Maybe they sold them.
Yeah, I was kind of one of my buddies was looking at a bike, so I hopped on Marketplace and was looking up stuff. And I mean, it wasn't like the craziest amount of dirt bikes I've ever seen, but there was definitely a lot of 18, 19, 20s, 21s for sale. So
am I in?
Yeah, you're in.
Yeah. Okay. That plug keeps coming. Anyway. Yeah, it's I don't know. Jeremy, I hadn't really thought about it either until TJ put that up, but it did not, there was a swell in sales and involvement for a year or so, but yeah, you don't really see it now. At least I haven't seen where all those people ended up.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can only sustain $300 to $500 a weekend to go ride a motorcycle.
Good point.
So
long.
I mean, with our inflation kind of going up right
Yeah.
now, it's making it tough on a lot of people. And you got $300 to $500. You're like, do I buy groceries or we go ride dirt bikes? And some people that are not hardcore, moto fans, they're probably not gonna go ride the dirt bike.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. Yeah, if you're gonna go ride, it's about $300 to $500 at least. I'm gonna go race.
Yeah, it's very expensive. So yeah, I mean, just people had more time, and now they're probably
like
also they're all back to playing. The kids are playing baseball, like you, Jeremy. You're just talking about baseball, and softball, and basketball, and soccer, and
that's a good point. All that stuff was kind of out, and there was for the motocross was able, because of the way it's set up, it was able to be open and stuff. So I think you did see it was we live in a world of trends now. So maybe that was just the trend at the time. Somebody, nobody was doing anything. Everybody had extra money and they went and did it. And then they're like, oh yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. Sports or baseball's back or whatever, So
right.
Probably, I would say they're sitting in garages somewhere.
Hit us up in the email if you've got buddies or people that you knew that kind of went out and bought dirt bikes or side-by-sides and, during that time, and maybe they bailed. Let us know what you think. Maybe some people that did that. The people I know are people that were already into it and riding and anything, so it really never changed.
Someone said had a good point. They said trail riding is a lot cheaper. I will say that the couple of TCCRA races I've gone to, which is just a local cross-country association, I mean, good numbers, super healthy.
Yeah,
I raced in a class.
That's a big thing. I think the off-road scene is growing exponentially compared to what we see when we go to the motocross track.
There was 40 something people in my class, and you don't see that in a moto, and especially a vet age group class. Rarely gets to 40 people in a motocross race. So maybe a lot of them are there. I don't know.
If you guys are in the East Texas area or Louisiana next weekend, I'm racing. I'm trying to talk Scotty into racing the Moto Masters race at Philadelphia.
This weekend, right?
This coming weekend, just a few days, Saturday. It's a Saturday race for vets. It's like Millville in Texas. It's one of the few tracks with some elevation. Dirt's so good. So if you guys are in the area, we will be at Billadilla this weekend to do Moto Masters. It's going to be a lot of fun. Love to have some of you guys. I keep saying everything I talk about. This will be a lot of fun. Catching that seems to be my crutch tonight, but that's going to be a cool event. So if you guys are in the area, you should come out and race.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get some gate drops. So you're going to go, right? We're just going to talk to you.
It sounds like it.
You got kid stuff.
Yeah, I got games.
Stupid kids are.
I haven't gotten to ride the last 2 weekends,
everything.
so I'm down.
Okay, let's do one more quick topic before we get Jalek on. This is another TJ question. He said, with Adam Cianciarulo leaving, and in some people's eyes, not reaching the heights that could have been, can we see Ryder DiFrancesco doing the same thing? They both are extremely hyped amateurs. He says, remember, people were saying that Deegan was dodging Ryder, but now look at the difference. I am certainly not ready to say Ryder D is not going to live up to heights. We don't know. I mean, he's barely got started his career.
He just started his growth spurt too in the last year and a half.
Yeah. He's he's not as successful as I thought he was going to be right off the bat, but I am certainly not ready to say it's.
Well, and AC's was injury induced as well.
Right,
so when he came, it took him a little bit longer in the 250 class. I think that it gets talked about a decent amount, but the fact that he went through a growth spurt when he was already pro, that I know that took it was a lot for him to come back from that. And then when he finally had his time in the 250 class, and then when he came into his rookie year, the 450 class, he did 8 top qualifiers in a row. I mean, he never got it together in the main, but he had the speed, and then the injuries started happening, and so I don't think it's fair to say that he never. I mean, obviously he didn't reach the expectations and goals that he said, but I don't think you can say he didn't live up to the hype because it was injury.
Yeah, it wasn't like his talent wasn't what we thought it was.
Yeah.
It was just there were other
which as of right now,
factors.
I'm with you that it's too soon to call it, but I haven't seen the just straight up talent that we thought we would see with Ryder D.
I still feel like it's. Go ahead, Jeremy. Give me your thoughts.
Oh no, I'm just about to feed off you.
Oh, I was just going to make fun of TJ for being an idiot, and I wanted to play his drop. Can we just do that?
Stop acting like an idiot.
That's the argument.
You're the idiot. Don't be an idiot. Changed my life.
That's funny.
Jeremy, thoughts on it? It's too early, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's way too early. Maybe I'd give him, I guess, another season, And then he needs what he really needs to do is just make it through the whole entire season without injuries.
And I think that's a big part of what he's trying to do.
Yeah, and if you, I guess,
something like a Max Volan needs to do and can't, unfortunately, seem to do. Like Max Max has not really lived up to his potential yet, but he's had injuries every single year.
Every single year. And then if you think about, God, my mind just went blank.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll come back to it.
All right, well, that's fine. Let's just real quick, a couple other things I want to shout out from Nashville that I just remembered. I don't know if either of you listened to the Moto 60 show.
Yeah.
But, okay, and you know Mathis's rants on names, right, and kids' names. So a dad called in, his name's Jeremy, about his son named Drifton. Do you remember that call?
Yeah.
And Steve gave him a bunch of crap. Well, I met Jeremy, and I met Drifton, and Drifton, he raced the KTM Juniors. Almost got on the podium, made a mistake on the last lap, got fourth. But Drifton was a cool kid. So shout out to Jeremy Shaw and his kid Drifton. His whole family was there. Got to meet them. Very cool. And, suck it, Steve. But there were some funny, I was looking at the list of names, and there was some interest, some names. I was like, wild. Steve would be having a field day. But shout out to Drifton and Shaw family.
Are your kids' names are they like that, or are they pretty normal?
You want to hear it?
Yeah, go for it.
I have a Leighton, Lena, Laney.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with it, but Steve probably was still right. But
tongue twister.
Triple L's. You got an LLC. Yeah.
Another shout out to Jason Murph, who owns Grill Your Ass Off. They were a sponsor of this show in the past.
Yeah.
Jason was at the race and got to meet him for the first time, and got the chance to introduce him to Phil Nicoletti and Jeremy McGrath and a couple people. He was kind of promoting his brand and the new jerky. He gave me a package of the sweet and spicy Grill Your Ass Off jerky. So just a shout out, grillyourassoff.com. Jeremy owns this company. It's what's that?
You're not going to share?
No. It's a vet-owned spice company. Like they have steak seasoning and, which, excuse me, it's the Ma Deuce is the steak seasoning. Willie Pete's is the chicken seasoning. They got this Claymore Cajun seasoning that I love. So check out Grill Your Ass Off. Get you some jerky. Get you some seasoning. He's a motocross enthusiast and rider, so he's a moto guy and a vet. Support that business. It's really cool. There are some discount codes. I'm almost positive at Kiefer Inc. testing. You can hit up Chris or at PulpMX if you want to save a little bit and support one of those shows. So, we used to have a discount code. I don't know if it's still active, but it really doesn't matter. Just go support the brand. Before, we're going to get Jalek on in just a minute. I want to ask you guys, though, about Daxton Bennett worded me a little bit this week. He was not very good. He was 20th in the main, 3rd in the LCQ, like Gage Linville, who's ripping right now. Shout out to Gage Linville. But, Daxton couldn't catch Gage, who's on a full privateer situation.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know if there's something going on with Daxton right now, but, yeah, it was a little not a good showing in Nashville. Anybody?
Yeah.
No? What?
I thought he was going to go.
Did you have something, Jeremy?
Yeah, I was. I thought you was about to.
No, that's it. We're waiting on Jalek, but go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay, great.
Welcome to the show.
I was just like, I'm just going to shut up right now. He's trying to get Jalek on the phone.
Yeah, but did you guys notice that or you pay any attention? Like the LCQ was pretty obvious.
Yeah, you know what's been kind of weird? Daxton, he hasn't really been that consistent.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to figure out, he's just been hot and cold too many times. And I'm just like, when's he going to start stringing something together? Because I think that's probably what everybody's kind of wanting. Because I think he could be a podium threat every weekend.
Yeah, I do too.
And I don't know what's not clicking over there.
Yeah, it wasn't good this weekend, but we do have our first guest of the night on the line. So let's get him lined up. FXR is designed by racers for racers with industry-leading fit, finish, and performance. Progression is the name of the game with every new piece created. At FXR, we push our brand to the next level to provide you with the best products possible. Used by the Muck Off FXR Club MX Yamaha team, Mike Brown, Brock Tickle, Chris Kiefer, Benny Bloss, many more, including Aiden Kiefer, who has spent some time with our next guest. We're going to get into Aiden in a minute, but check out FXRRacing.com for your all your FXR needs, or go to your local dealership. Try the 24 line out. Good stuff. Tonight, FXR brings us from Triumph Racing, Jalek Swoll. What's up, Jalek?
What's up, man?
What's going on, dude? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Just kind of had a chill day, and just calling in now.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. Look, man, you're 7th, I think, in points in the East right now.
Yeah.
New bike, new team, a lot going on this season. What were your expectations coming on in, and do you feel like you've met your expectations right now? Where do you feel you are?
Kinda, I guess. Not really, though. I mean, the year, it started out pretty good. 6th in the first round, going down the first turn, and I felt like this year, speed-wise, I felt like I was a top 5 guy. So, I've been around it. I've had some motos that I kind of just pissed it away and fell or did something stupid. But, I've been around like a 5th place guy, I feel, speed-wise. And then, I've been slowly working my way to, trying to get back to the box.
Yeah, well, Nashville, I think, was your best finish of the season, so that you have to be happy with that. But you talked about pissing away, like Detroit, right? I think you had a podium lined up almost, and then made a mistake, and that's got to be disappointing. But it feels like with the 5th, and even with that almost podium, you can tell it's there, it's coming.
Yeah, no, exactly. All I've wanted was just to see progression every round, really. I know, I have expectations for myself, but I do know it is a new bike and a new team, and we have some things that are just bound to happen, So I've had a level-headed mind when it comes down to that, and I've been putting in the work, and the bike is plenty capable of getting on the box. So that's pretty much just been my goal. And I felt like I should have been on the box in Birmingham, fell out of 3rd, and then
it was Birmingham, okay.
Birmingham, and then
Detroit. I'm sorry, Detroit's when you went down in the first turn. That's right. Yep.
Yep. Detroit was the big pile up in the first turn. So and then after that Arlington round where I crashed out and completely missed that round with Anstey or whatever, I broke my back. So then that was a struggle, and it was kind of just gritting it out to that break. And now I'm in a much better spot. The riding's coming around. Obviously the team has been busting their ass to get to where we need to be. So it's been good. It's been a fun process.
Yeah, you just mentioned the broke back, fractured L3, L4. You kind of kept that quiet for a little bit, right?
Actually, I had did it, around Arlington or whatever, and I honestly didn't even really know.
Yeah.
I went and got MRIs and stuff like that, but I didn't really know. I knew something was going on, but when they came back, I think it was right before Daytona, and it wasn't really like, I don't know. I just I didn't know whether I should post it or not. Like, I didn't want it to be a bad look for the team. Like, everyone kind of just being like, "Oh, why are they letting him race with a broken back?"
Oh yeah.
But it was one of those things where, I had my doctor look at it. Obviously, it's a broken back. A broken back is a broken back, but it was one of the ones where there is no good back break, but it was a good back break. It was one of the ones I could ride with, and it wouldn't damage it anymore. So, it was a pain tolerance thing. If you can deal with the pain, then you can ride. And I wanted to get a good result for the team, really. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be there for all the rounds and finish through the whole series. And, it's unfortunate what happened with the GPS sensor in Indy.
Yep.
And, the Arlington thing, because without those 2 incidents, I would be well in the top 5 right now. So, I've been riding well. Everything's been there. Just, 2 rounds kind of set me back.
Yeah, it's really to me, it's more than even that. Like when I hear the media, or there's not a lot of talk about you right now, or there might be, well, where is Jalek? But you just talked about, okay, the broken back, Birmingham. Yeah. You had a 3rd and made a mistake. Indy, you had a great start and the bike broke. You have in Arlington, you had the crash in the rhythm section, with the back issue. So really, when you look at the whole season, it's a short season, and you've had just a lot of different things happen. It doesn't really show how good you've been. Even Detroit, we have a segment on the show that we call the Barnett Clutch's Clutch Performance of the Week. And I gave you the clutch performance in Detroit because you went down, but you got all the way back up to 6th. A hell of a ride. Probably not enough credit for how good you've been really overall this whole season.
Yeah, I mean, I've been. It's not really. I don't know. I try not to play the why me card and try to get everybody's attention. You know.
Sure.
It is what it is. You know. If I get looked over, I get looked over. I'm kind of used to it at this point. But yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I've been there pretty much all year round. I mean, Foxborough was a not so good round for me. I was just kind of sick and just flat out, just didn't have it. The guys were faster than me, and it was what it was. So that round was by far my worst riding, and it was 8th. So yeah, I mean, I've been in the mix, and then with that GPS sensor, I was going into that last moto with a 4th overall.
Yep.
And with the way that first turn crash was, I probably could have gotten a 3rd, honestly. So I've always been there. Some things haven't gone my way. Some things, just me personally, just made a mistake and kind of just threw it away. But I've always been in the mix, and that was kind of all I asked for going into the series, was just to be there. And to be there with a new team and new bike. Honestly, I mean, I just need a shot, you know. I'd be proud of myself and happy with the team if we just gave our shot to be on the box every night. And whether it actually happened yet or not, you know, I'd live with the results. But I know those podiums will come, and I'm starting to get more and more comfy and obviously healed with the back. So I think the riding's just starting to come around, and the work is starting to show a little bit.
Good to hear.
Yeah, Jalek, I heard on a post race interview that, you know, you were like, hey, I was second for my coach tonight, and like I thought that was a good point. Like, yeah, you've been riding really good. We just talked about all the things that have kind of limited to you and has made it harder. How far away do you feel that you are from like the Jalek that we know, the guy that we've seen take off and lead races? You know, how far away do you feel from that? And you've been riding really good. I've been really impressed to see you progress.
I'd say I'm inching up to that point. I mean, I'm going and I'm having good races and decent results, but I haven't had a race where I've ridden like I've ridden at the practice track yet. And that to me can be frustrating at times, like where is that guy a little bit, but to me it's been giving me a lot of confidence actually, because if I'm, you know, inching up on these guys and becoming one of those threats with how I'm riding right now, I'll be in a really good spot when the guy from the practice track shows up. So yeah, I mean, I feel I'm inching up there. I'm getting closer. I think the East-West shootout was a really good step in the right direction for me. And yeah, like you said earlier, like P2 on the night for East. So yeah, I mean, I'm getting there. I mean, I just you know, I'm getting there.
That's how I look at it. I mean, like you're getting better, and you still don't feel like you've reached your full potential.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's awesome. That's kind of a good place to be.
Yeah. Hey, Jalek, I got a question for you. So what's been the biggest like hurdle like with this new bike that you guys have been chasing, since you guys really don't have anything to fall back on?
Well, for me, I mean, it's weird because I'm so much more comfy on this bike than I've been in a long time. I think since that bike that I won on at High Point, honestly, this is the most comfy I've been since then. And so it puts me in a weird spot because we got the bike, or not say we got the bike, but we started like our Supercross training when everything was all good to go and we had all the parts and everything a little bit later. So we got a late jump training into the season. Obviously, I did like my training with Brownie, just like all the off the bike stuff, but we really waited until everything was squared away and good to go with the team and all the parts and all the stuff that we had to get going before the year. So we kind of had a little bit of a late start with that. And then with that being said, most of our testing was outdoors. So A lot of those guys, you know, did a lot of testing just for the bike in general, and that's a motocross thing. And our test guy, Tedesco, he had something numb in his knee. I think he blew his knee out. So we also lost him on a lot of that testing as well. So I kind of just walked in, and it was really just me and Ferry, like testing. So we were like juggling testing and training at the same time, which wasn't ideal, but I mean, I've had that happen on other teams as well, you know, so it wasn't like it was like new, but I was just trying to kind of fast forward and learn this new chassis and obviously new suspension and how to work with my new suspension guy, Drew. And there's a few things to juggle for sure, but it wasn't as tough as I thought it was going to be. I transitioned to this bike pretty well and got comfy pretty early, but yeah, I mean, when you lose your test guy, you know, it sucks, you know, because that's your fast forwarding like guy, you know, like
right.
you give him all the stuff and then he tries it and then you just fast forward through stuff that works and you're good to go. But without him, you know, I had to do most of the testing, which I was actually grateful for in a way because it made me learn a lot of different things. And there's a lot of things now after, you know, doing all the testing kind of just by myself or with Barry that I can go to the racetrack and kind of know what to ask for and what does what now and all that stuff. So it made me a better rider, a smarter rider, just from that alone. But yeah, never ideal to start off testing with a new bike without your test guy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it definitely adds a lot of extra time to what you're doing, preparing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I guess you're starting to feel like you're in a good spot going into outdoors here in a couple weeks, month or so.
Yeah, about a month.
Yep. I mean, for sure. I've done a little bit of outdoor riding on it, and yeah, I mean, I'm really, really comfy on outdoors, and yeah, I have some good outdoor results even when I wasn't very comfy. So I feel like heading into the outdoors now, I feel like I'm in a really good spot, and yeah, Joey's been on the bike doing some outdoor grinding already, and he seems to be pretty happy too. So I imagine, you know, I'll be happy when I get there as well.
Cool.
Yeah, that was actually one of our listener questions that we were going to ask. They paid to hear you say that, Jalek. So you got some fans out there, man.
We got some YouTube money. All right, that's nice to hear. Hey, I want to drop back to Detroit for a minute. I think it was Detroit where Pierce Brown destroyed you a little bit. Did you ever talk to him about that?
I mean, I might have yelled some things at him, but we never talked.
Okay.
Which it's weird. Like, I never had any issues with him, but I mean, I don't know.
It's frustrating. I get it. I just didn't know if you guys ever. Yeah, I mean, you would think he would come say sorry, bro, but
nah, none of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been it was weird. I mean, I heard from a few people that like their team side had like some hee-hees and ha-has about it or whatever walking back to the tunnel. So it's we're not on friendly terms.
Okay, fair enough. We can move on from that. You mentioned training with Mike Brown. You trained with Mike Brown at Baker's Factory when you were on Husky. I want to know what it's like. Your personalities, in my mind, don't match. You're a fun guy. You like to joke around, it seems like, and he's just a crotchety old man. I mean, I love Brownie, but how well do you work together, and how do you make that work? I mean, maybe that's why it does work.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think he's just normal workhorse Brownie, and I level it out a little bit with not taking everything too serious. Like, obviously, I take my job serious. I grind. I do all like the normal stuff. I don't post about it, so maybe it doesn't look like I'm not grinding because everything's supposed to be social media nowadays. But I do all the grinding, and I like working with Brownie because definitely no shortcuts. Like, the dude is gnarly, and he'll never give you the easy way out. You know, he'll just keep working like a literal workhorse. So
dude, he never stops.
yeah, I like it. I think I balance him out a little bit. But it depends on what Brownie shows up to the track. He can be a grumpy bastard sometimes, but for the most part, if you get to know Brownie, he's got a really like fun side to him as well, and he knows how to keep it fun in his own way. So
yeah,
we work really well together. And that was like, I really, really was stoked when Brownie made the transition over here with me from Baker's. That was one of the things that was like a real standout. Like, oh, okay, like this might be one of the missing pieces to the puzzle.
Yeah, I'm sure it added some comfort too, because you already had a relationship with him. And a cool thing about Brownie is if you maybe like you or when Evan was still on the team or Savachi was like, oh, well, we just can't make that work or we can't do that. Mike would be like, all right, let me show you how it's done.
Yeah.
Like the video of his start the other day. Brownie still has it.
Oh, no. Sometimes I'll go and, like, I'll be like, oh, I don't know, like, my steering's a little messed up or something's going on. Like, you know, you just little random, like, niches that riders have sometimes when they show up their practice track. You can just feel something's off, you know, and, like, sometimes that happens. I'll come off, like, I don't know, just something. Oh, whatever, and I'll just hand my bike to Brownie, but you feel it, and then he'll just go out and jump rhythms and shit, just like, just right away. It's funny, but yeah, I like handing the bike to Brownie and telling him to show me all the time, just to see what he does, because he does not shy away from getting on the bike. Anytime he can get on the bike, he'll get on the bike.
Do you ever do it just like, even though, like, do you make something up? Like, I mean, I can't do that rhythm on this bike. Just to see if he'll do it.
That's a good idea.
No rhythm, because he'll do it with no helmet, so I got to watch out for him myself. But starts or anything like that where it's safe, yeah, I'll mess with him and have him do something. Like that video of the start, that was big. Like I literally, I did my start or whatever, and then I just started messing with Brownie. Like, oh man, he would smoke you on the start. He would hit on you on the starts, and then get him all fired up and just watch him go. And it was funny. It turned out to be a funny video.
That's
so
great.
That's normal though. That's
like
just
that?
one of the times that I got him on camera. Like stuff like that happens all the time.
Oh, I love it. Jalek Swoll is brought to you by FXR tonight. Just a few more for you, Jalek. You got anything else, Scotty?
Yeah, you know, with that result that you had this weekend in the top 5, that being a showdown race, how did the team, like, was the team pretty stoked on that? Did they welcome you back to the pits with, you know, like a congratulations, stuff like that? How did the team respond to a good showing like that in the showdown?
Yeah, they were stoked. But honestly, like the team has been really, really good all year. Like, they're a lot easier on everything than even I am. Like, I expect something out of myself, and then they're kind of on like the realistic side of like it's a new bike and it is a learning process, you know. But they've just been stoked all year round, and then obviously like I think I gained a lot of respect for everybody when I rode through what I rode through my back, and just to get to the East-West Shootout and finally feel comfy enough to like ride with no pain and just be good and have a result like that. Like they're pretty pumped, and like we mentioned a couple times now, like it being P2 and East, they were stoked with that, and they were just happy to see me starting to ride a little bit more to my potential, but also, you know, showing off the bike. Like it's a really good bike, and you know, anytime we can get out front and showcase this bike in a good manner, like it's a win for the night, you know?
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to ride one yet. I didn't get to go to the intro, but I trust Chris Kiefer's opinion, and Chris helped do some of the early development, and yeah, he says it's really solid and good, so I think it's a good platform. Jeremy, do you have one?
Yeah, I just had, I guess a topic that's been kind of floating around for, I guess, all this year with the whole 9 whoops thing and X. I got a question for you, Jalek. Do you have like a certain talent that can stand out a lot more, but these tracks are limiting, I guess, you for doing those like special obstacles or
like Dragon's Backs? Are you phenomenal at Dragon's Backs and there's no more Dragon's Backs?
Because if you look at you know, Jalek and everybody else, you know, they all have whole shot devices, they all have starting gate, or you know, the grates, and 9 whoops. Like I'm basically asking Jalek if does he have like a certain like talent that he's probably one of the only people that can make a difference in the race, but since the race, I guess the tracks are so limited, is that frustrating for you?
I don't know. Like, it's a really good question, but I mean, I don't know. Most of my talent comes from corners, really, and we don't miss the corners. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. When it comes down to obstacle wise, like, I'm not really sure. I kind of pride myself as like a corner guy, and that's where I feel like I'd make up most of my time is just getting in and out of the corners. So for me, my obstacles will be there every weekend. So, yeah, I don't really have an obstacle that stands out that's like, oh, like that's me, you know. But you said dragons backs. I'm absolutely glad they don't have dragons backs. Those things were death traps.
Yeah.
So I'm not against, or I am one of the ones that are against dragons backs. I don't really care about the new whoop thing. Like, I don't really care if it's 9 or more, to be honest. But dragons backs are one of the things I thought were kind of just a little bit on, like, didn't really add anything to the races, but added risk, you know?
I got you.
Gotcha. Yep. I don't think anybody likes the dragons backs. Oh, well, there was one rider that told me he liked them, and I can't even remember who it was now. It was like Cooper Webb or somebody like that.
Tomac.
Maybe it was Eli, yeah.
You say he has at the practice track, or Tomac said the same
He likes
thing.
all the gnarly stuff
Yeah.
like that, though.
Hey, Jalek, with TJ wanted us to ask is why don't you let Doc train with him, train with you?
Doc
and
Smith.
Is it because he's just too slow?
Yes, he's too slow.
Doc Smith. Why doesn't Doc Smith train me? I think he's in Texas, so I think that's one of the things.
Yeah,
he'd come down there if you invite him.
his dad is one of our co-hosts, but he's not here tonight.
I mean, honestly, Triumph has been really, really good with just letting anyone I want or just anyone who wants to come out ride. So, honestly, if he hasn't ridden here, it's just because he hasn't tried to ride here, to be honest.
Oh, very nice.
Well, trust me, he's too slow.
Well, you feel like
If you're listening, Doc, you're too slow.
No, I play MX Sim with that guy. He's pretty shit on the games too, for sure.
he's good at gaming. He's just not good at putting a fast lap in.
transferred over.
He's not. He's lying to you guys.
Oh, okay. Well, he's not good at putting a fast lap in qualifying. Doc is a guy that has to build, and the qualifying setup for professional racing doesn't suit him right now. Poor Doc. We love Doc.
I hear every now and then I'll get on the game with him and Volan, and I'll hear Volan give it to him all the time.
Yeah.
I'm aware of it.
All right, just a few more. I want to. This actually, I was talking to Chris Kiefer and Aiden earlier, and Chris was wondering, like, how does it feel? I don't want to get into the Evan Ferry thing, but now that you are the sole rider in the truck, how does that feel? Does it feel like there's more pressure? I think you're a guy that does like to have other people around you, that hang out with. So just being the sole rider in the team, does it change anything for you? In the truck?
No, not really. I mean, he got injured pretty early in Arlington. I didn't really see him from there, so it felt more like I was already on my own a little bit already. But yeah, I mean, it's not. I don't know. I mean, the team busts their ass, so for me, like, it's not going to change anything whether with it being like their effort. Their effort is always there, and it's not going to change anything. And I have my own goals and expectations, so whether I'm the number one rider on the team or the fourth guy on the team, like it doesn't really change anything for me. I have some goals that I want to click off, no matter if people deem those achievable or not. I have some expectations for myself, and I'm striving and working to get to those expectations. So, whether I'm number one guy or last guy, I got my own goals going on.
Okay, perfect.
Hey, Jalek, I gotta say, man, the cowboy outfit was pretty fire at the races. One of our listeners even mentioned that there was a pretty good clip on Dino's YouTube about him talking to you about it. What's some more information on the kit?
I saw Nashville showing up. My chick's from Nashville, so she kind of knows how to dress around there, and I showed up, and literally that night or the press day or whatever, I was like, what? I'm gonna do something fun tomorrow. And I showed up, and I spent like $500 $500, almost $600 on that outfit.
Jeez.
So I went all out. For that. I got the boots, the buckle, the hat. Custom did the hat for the Triumph thing, and yeah, dude, I showed up and it was fun. I had a lot of fun. I think I want to start doing like a theme for all the races that have themes, you know?
Yeah.
Like do something cool like that, something fun, bring out like the fun side of things. I think the sport gets very, very corporate and like serious, and I don't really work like that. So I want to kind of bring some fun back into the sport and just kind of do something cool. But I'm glad you liked it. A lot of people were talking shit on it, but they said it looked a little sus that I've tucked my pants into my boots. I didn't know that you weren't supposed to do that.
You're not.
Don't do that.
You're not. But for what you were trying to do, I'm with it.
Yeah, but if I put the jeans over the boots,
You
then
can't
you
see
don't
the boots. Yeah, it's
Exactly.
Catch 22, man.
Yeah.
And I paid like $300 for them boots. You gotta see that shit.
Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
All right, before we let you go, I've got like 2 Vital MX forum questions, but I wanna ask you about Aiden Kiefer, my little buddy.
Yeah.
He's like family, but he's a little shithead, man. How's it been hanging out with him? How's it been having him out there with you when he's been in Georgia?
No, it's cool. It's cool to have him because he's so immature. He's like he brings that like young kid energy. So it's cool to have him around, to have that little spark, and like someone who's just like giddy and happy to be around, and just have friends around, and you know, have like a track day. You know, he's but yeah, he's a little shithead. I mean, he gets pretty. You got to take him in doses. You know what I mean? You have to like pick and choose your battles with him and all that kind of stuff. But it's all good. He's starting to learn a little bit. I mean, between living at Brownies and then showing up to the track and having to deal with me, we're sorting him out.
Good, yeah, because I mean, he's just had Chris and Heather around him his whole life, and yeah, he needs a little outside influence, and he needs a little.
Yeah.
I hope he's getting pretty good or getting some skills on Supercross, because I would like to see the kid be successful.
Yeah, I've been trying to get him to do the future stuff, but he won't listen to me. I don't know. Maybe you guys need to talk to him.
Yeah, I think that might be Chris.
Oh yeah, Chris. He rode Supercross with me a little bit, like during boot camp or whatever, before he had his own areas and all that stuff to go to. And he was pretty good. I mean, obviously, you're not going to get good at Supercross unless you put the time in, you know.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have much time in on there, so he's kind of he's got to get into the Supercross deal. But the kid's got really good, like, I guess, just riding skills. Like you know, you can see somebody and know if like they can ride good. You know, he's got a good style, and like obviously he knows what he's doing on a dirt bike. So I don't think Supercross would be a problem. But yeah, we definitely got to get him on there. So we got to maybe have Chris pull the what's that thing? The
umbilical cord
booster. Yeah, I got to get the booster seat out from under him.
Yeah, for sure. All right, 2 forum questions real quick. Sandman768 said, if you had to, this is for you and our other guest coming on in a minute, Casey Cochran. So could either of you adjust your chain or change your air filter if you had to? Bonus points if you know where the air filter is located.
Okay, bro. I can do the air filter. I haven't done an air filter since I was like literally on 60s or 80s or somewhere around there, and I got taught how to do it literally once.
Okay.
So I think I can remember and know what to do with that, but the chain is, that's out of my league. The chain is dunzo. Yeah.
Dude, I'm texting Souls after this, and like, you guys got to have some help, man. Travis is going to have to show you a couple things.
Well, I guess I won't say it as a negative, but I've been fortunate enough to always have a mechanic, so I've never had to like ever do that. I've been like with Husky since I was super young, so I just never really had to do anything by myself. So whether that's a negative or positive, I don't know. You know, you're fortunate.
Yeah, you're not missing anything, bro.
I'm lucky. I'm lucky.
All right, I can't even say this guy's username. It is really fucking complicated, but the guy says to tell you thanks for signing my son and his buddy's birthday boards at Nashville.
Oh, nice. I remember those kids. Yeah, for sure.
So the dude
anytime I can like go out and I try to go out of my way and like do stuff for like the kids, you know, the kids, you know, like nothing better, but just like that's going to make their day, you know. I try to get to everybody, but it's more sentimental when you can get to like the little kids who are just pumped to be there, you know?
Absolutely. Jalek, man, I appreciate your time. If you guys are listening and, you know, a lot of people, Jalek, don't know you that well because you haven't won a lot of races yet. So, you know, you haven't been in the spotlight quite as much as some of the other riders, but like you have this great personality. You are a super friendly, fun guy. So I hope people support you. And, you know, if you're listening to our show, man, you don't know much about Jalek. You got to become a fan. Jalek's a rad kid. So appreciate you coming on. And when Aiden gets back out there, just give him a bunch of shit for me.
No, I appreciate the kind words, and yeah, you didn't have to say that. We're already on this kid's ass every single day. He doesn't get any breaks, so we'll continue to break him in for you. All
right, Jalek, you have a good night. Good luck this weekend. But you're not. We're in Philly.
Yes,
so
we're going in Philly. So
I had to think about where we were.
I might pull out the Rocky fit. You never know.
Oh, hey, be careful. Like if you want to be like a Philly theme, just start throwing batteries and snowballs and stuff. Because like
Eagles fans.
Yeah, because that's what their fans do. Start chunking stuff everywhere, man.
I like the Rocky idea better.
Yeah, I do too.
Dude.
Yeah, I think I don't think I'll get in trouble for the Rocky theme. No. So I think I'll probably go with that.
Or Apollo Creed, or just come out with the American flag shorts and the gloves.
That would be pretty good. You could do like a little run up the stairs, and like the little Supercross thing
for open to dude.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out.
You got it.
Awesome, Jalek. Thanks for your time, buddy.
Oh yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Have a good night. That's Jalek Swoll. He's brought to you tonight by FXR. Yeah, I met him for the first time in Arlington in like 19, I think 2019. And yeah, he's got a great personality. I don't think a lot of people realize that. That was fun, man. Like he jokes, and if he's giving Aiden crap, and if he can deal with Brownie and Brownie, that's he's a good kid, man. He's got a lot of talent. He has not shown, I don't think, his upper level of abilities yet.
Yeah. I thought it was funny that he can actually get under Brownie's skin like that. I don't
think it'd be that hard to get under Brownie's skin as a kid because Brownie's wound tight.
Yeah, I always thought that. I mean, I know he was like hardcore, and I know he's like he's scared you and stuff before or whatever, and
before I knew him,
yeah, and but I always thought he was just like hard nosed, but I didn't know he was like rattled like that. So that's kind of cool.
Well, I think because Jalek's a jokester, and stuff like that would probably, if you were around Brownie much, you'd be like, yeah, I don't know how much he jokes, which he does, but he doesn't. He's very serious too. So, cool. Yeah, that was fun. We need to have Jalek more often. It's I think it was almost a year since the last time he was on.
See, that's interesting that you say that because when you said that Jalek was going to be on, like, didn't we just talk to him?
I kind of thought that too when I was looking at his results. I'm like, I'm going to get him on. Then I went and looked, and like the last time I think was August of last year.
Oh wow!
So close to a year.
I could have swore that we talked to him like 5-6 episodes ago.
Yeah, I'm glad he's able to keep the conversation.
If we did.
Going.
It didn't come up in any of my. It didn't come up when I was searching like our show and Jalek Swoll. So let's do the X Brand forum check-in. Let's see here. X Brand is your choice for clear vision and a leader in motocross and off-road goggles. X Brand is used by many of the top GNCC riders, including the 2023 XC1 champion Craig DeLong, 2023 National Hare and Hound XC1 champion Dalton Shurry, 2023 AMA National Enduro Champion Grant Baylor. Basically what I'm getting at is off-road riders trust X Brand and they win championships. Also, motocross, supercross, and arena cross riders like Kyle Chisholm, Freddie Noren, Henry Miller, Michael Hicks, Richard Taylor, Jerry Robin, and many more. So visit xbrand, EKSbrand.com, or go to your local dealership. And don't forget that Hunter Lawrence last year won a championship in Alpine Star goggles that are actually just X Brand Lucids with a different branding on the strap. They win championships. Why are you shaking your head?
Our sport's so weird. Like, just put an X Brand on there.
Well, Alpine Stars, no, because Alpine Stars won, just like FXR, won their own goggle that they can sell with their branding. So they go and they contract out to another company. It happens.
Just put a little bitty X inside the star.
Well, I mean, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. But that's what they are, though. If I get in trouble, I get in trouble. Okay, we have two possibilities for X Brand forum questions.
We're not going to do both of them?
I don't know yet. One of the titles is, this is why I'm not a fan of mid-season East versus West shootouts, even though they're showdowns. The other is you're on the track and your throttle sticks WFO just before a jump. What do you do?
Yeah.
Which one do you want to do?
We can do both.
We might have enough time before you got to get Casey on the phone.
Since you have experience with wide open throttles,
Yeah, so that's actually not the first time that's happened.
Well, let's read the topic first before we get into it. This is posted by a Vital forum member, Ozzy, O-Z-Y. Again, I read the title. He says, talk about a nightmare scenario. What could or would you do to not end up going home in an ambulance? I said you could pull the clutch in, but what would you do? Brake tapping drops the front end quickly, so maybe just pulling the clutch and no back brake. All right, so let's just put ourselves in that situation. Wide open. Before a jump. What do you do?
how big's a jump?
Does it matter? If you're wide open? I mean, I guess it kind of does. Let's big enough you're going to get hurt.
I'm bailing.
Yeah, I kind of just
can't always do that though.
So the one time the time I talked about earlier, when that happened, I got lucky and was able to just pull the clutch in the air, and it wasn't really that bad. It just kind of got sketchy. But another time it happened to me, I was doing a night track practice, and it was like I came out of a corner, did a step up, and in the middle of the air, the step up, it held wide open, and when I landed, I was like third gear pinned into like a little rhythm section, and your mic's out.
I gotta fix this. I gotta get a new cable.
It's still not there. No,
It's not there.
So then, anyways, I it took me a second to pull in the clutch, and I finally did, and I slammed on the brakes, and I just basically like slid out going up the face of the jump, and knocked the wind out of me, and luckily I didn't get hurt, but bruised the crap out of my leg, and trying to figure out. Yeah, it's scary. Like it really just depends on the scenario. I mean, yeah, bail if you can, pulling the clutch. I mean, that's pulling the clutch and just give everybody in the pits a heart attack because you're just hearing your bike revved up.
Yeah, you have to be aware enough though, and I feel like I don't know that my throttle's ever hung wide open, but I've definitely got whiskey throttle.
Oh, yeah.
You just panic and like I don't think I could think quick enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna pull I'm just like my eyes would be the size of saucers, and I'd be like, oh shit. And I don't think I'm talented enough to react in a way to not get hurt.
Yeah, I think it's scenario based because I've stepped off the front on my bike probably twice my whole life, and you just get that feeling like, okay, this ain't gonna go good. Like I'm not riding this one out. I'm jumping.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like underground, the big step up triple.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, my bike's wide open. Like I know it's a wide open jump, but just keeping that wide open throttle throughout the air or whatever. If you're not smart enough to pull the clutch or hit the brakes, whatever.
Dude, I'm just going to end up in the pits or the trees or the fence or
it's somebody's bike. I just
and like the worst feeling is when you like do. It's similar to a whiskey throttle, and you can't let go. Like your hands are just locked on, and you're.
Oh, I see.
Kind of like Kenny this weekend, where he's just like his body was just bouncing around, and it's so you can't let go.
Yeah,
he executed that perfectly. Though.
Did he?
Dude, that was nuts.
Yeah.
Dude, half of my Instagram is just watching people like trying to ride a dirt bike and just
fails?
just trying to ride a dirt bike and just like they do as soon as they let off the clutch and the throttle goes, they're wide open into the first thing that they hit. So it's not easy.
Yeah, you're right. A couple of the responses on the forum topic was yank on every lever available, hold on and pray. Then some guy said that, and that's option B if my option A above doesn't work. Let's see, on an MX track, let alone Supercross track, I'm done if the throttle sticks at pretty much any point. In the desert, I probably hit the kill and pull the clutch in no particular order to see how it goes.
Yeah.
So basically,
if
I'm
you can
fairly
do clutch,
instinctive.
that's the move. I mean,
Yeah. This guy says waking up 20 minutes later in the back of an ambulance. Yeah. Probably doing the big triple for the first and only time.
There's some
pretty good responses.
There's some responses in the chat too. We have a let it go before landing and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Someone asked if you were on Damon Bradshaw's bike when this happens. Someone said buy the ticket and take the ride, and situation specific.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to that, but I think for me, I'm holding on and just because
waking up. I like the waking up.
Hoping for the best. We don't really have time to get to the next one right now. We're going to go ahead and jump to the Barnett Clutch Performance of the Week. With 75 years of experience behind them, Barnett Dirt Digger clutch kits feature friction materials exclusive to Barnett for maximum performance and durability. Get 10% off with promo code VitalMX, all caps, at barnettclutches.com and feel the Barnett difference. If you guys ride, you're going to need clutches eventually. Support this show. Get the best clutches available at barnettclutches.com and use that VitalMX promo code to save. MotoXpod@gmail.com. If down the road you need the code, I'll just email me and I'll let you know. Anybody want to go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
I'm going to go with RJ. He had put himself in the right position, and he had the win, and he came out and executed that, and he made up a lot of points. And I think he couldn't ask for anything better than that, and I think that's pretty clutch.
I'm going to cross out RJ's name off my list. Yeah. Thankfully, I wrote down 2.
Oh, I saw your list, so I was like,
you stole my list. Okay. That sounds about right. I'm going to have to get me one of those blinders to cover my notepad. Scotty, you got one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Levi. I mean, he finished.
I guess I'll cross out the other name on my list.
Yeah, okay, I'll go.
No, go ahead.
Well, he cracked ribs and still finished. That's insane.
14th.
Couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
My other one was, Jet. I mean, the title was tied, and he had nothing to he had nothing to do but prove himself, and he played it smart. The other guys went out and got tired or whatever, and he found his race pace and. Yeah, and put it on him. I mean, like it was pretty clutch. I mean, you can't argue that it wasn't. So
no, I agree. I had Levi Kitchen also for getting 14th after that, and we weren't really sure at first, if he was going to get back up. He went out and got some points. Yeah. He's only 2 points down, and I had RJ on there also. Yeah. That was a clutch ride. He is going to put a fight into the end of the season, the series, to try to win that championship. So, what were you about to say something?
No, I was going to say it's like exciting that with the championships or that kind of got close again. So that was cool.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'm bummed for Cam and Levi for getting hurt
for sure.
But I actually told Levi. I walked into the pits. I said, "Could you chill down, dude? Give the old guys a break." And he's like, "No." I was like, "Man, I've been waiting for RJ or Jordan to win a championship for years. Leave him alone for a minute. Just give him a break. You're young." He wasn't having it.
No,
our next guest is on the lines online. He's going to be brought to you tonight by Guts Racing. Andy Gregg and the Guts Racing crew continue to provide the best seats and foam available. If you want the same seats used by Rockstar, Husqvarna, Hep Suzuki, and many more, then you need Guts Racing. They have numerous color possibilities, staple or Velcro installation options, wing seats, and the best foam in the business with the Phantom Ultralight seat foam. I just tested one again today, the oversized seat, the tall seat with the hard foam. I really, really like it. Don't forget, they have complete seats for the Talari and Super 73 and covers for the Sur-Ron and Segway. They strive to ship orders within 36 hours, so visit GutsRacing.com. Tonight, Guts Racing brings us from Rockstar Husqvarna, Casey Cochran. What's up, Casey?
What's going on?
Not much, man. Glad to finally get you on. I kind of messed the schedule up a little bit last week, and we were missing each other, but we're glad to have you on.
No, I'm glad to be here. I appreciate it.
So I want to jump right in. You've had, you won Salt Lake City Futures in 2023. You've done, 2 Futures this year, a 3rd in Daytona, a 7th in St. Louis. Then you made your pro debut in Foxborough with a 15th, Nashville with a 15th, which was a showdown. So in my opinion, that 15th is actually probably a little even better than the Foxborough one. But how do you feel about your transition so far into the pro ranks and how the first 2 have gone?
I'm actually, it's been pretty good. I've been pretty happy with it. I feel like the speed that I have shown at the first few rounds is actually pretty good with, I qualified 3rd at Foxborough and then 6th at Nashville. Yep. And then 5th in the heat at Foxborough and then 4th in the East heat, which was basically a main event. So, I was really happy with all that. And then both of the main events, I've just made some mistakes, just some rookie mistakes that happened, but honestly, overall, I've been super stoked with just, getting more experience and getting a lot more time under my belt, because the more you race, the more just comfortable it becomes. And I'm actually super excited with how it's been going. Yeah.
And I think to be fair, it takes a couple years, maybe 3 years to really, for a kid your age, for a young 250 rider to really figure it out. And you just talked about some mistakes you've made in the mains. Do you feel that the mistakes in the mains or the issues in the mains it's a longer race. Things are starting to happen really fast, and I don't, maybe your conditioning is not quite where you need to be. What do you think it is about the main versus a heat race that's kind of, you're still trying to figure out?
Yeah, I think one of the things is obviously I got hurt at the end of last year and then didn't have much time on Supercross coming into this season.
Yeah.
And so I haven't done many long motos, and I've only done a few like actual main event linked motos. So yeah, I think that is a little contribution to not being like as like physically fit, I guess, with the long motos, but it's definitely coming around, and racing makes that like just shoot way through the roof because when you're racing, it's so intense out there with those guys. And so maybe that's a little bit. I felt a lot better and felt like I could hang with the pace a lot more in Nashville. But just I feel like another factor is definitely the track, because those you don't really get anything like that in practice with how gnarly those tracks get in the mains, and that's something that you just get used to with more experience on rough Supercross tracks, which comes with time and more races. So I think just the more we go, the better it'll get.
I agree with that. I got one more question before I turn it over to one of my co-hosts, but we talked about the Futures series, and that is designed to give you guys a little bit of experience in the stadium on full-blown Supercross tracks, kind of experience the schedule of the day, but it is very different. Like, how big is the jump from Futures to the pro race itself?
It's hold on one second.
Yeah, you're good.
It's pretty. I mean, obviously it's the same tracks and everything, but when you get out there with guys that are, the best in the world, and these guys do, it's a whole different ball game whenever the gate drops. Even just going off the start, these guys are much more experienced and more talented at starts. So starts are tougher. It's harder to get a good start. You have to literally be perfect. And just compared to the Futures guys, it's definitely obviously a lot tougher. And then you have the longer races and rougher tracks. But I think Futures is really good for just experience and learning. But it is still a big jump.
Okay.
I got you. So coming off the amateurs, I know you guys only race a handful of races a year. So coming into Supercross and jumping into outdoors, how has it been with the whole, getting used to the travel and the routine of all that?
Yeah, I actually enjoy it. I love going to cities I've never been to and places I've never been. So I actually really enjoy the traveling part of it and seeing things that I haven't seen before. And especially if you have a bad weekend or a bad race, you get to go, okay, well, we get another opportunity next weekend. And it's kind of like a fresh start, especially for me right now with not being in any points race or anything. So each weekend is kind of like a fresh start, even if you have a bad one last weekend. So that's what I like about it. Cause you go to Loretta's and you get one bad start, one really bad moto, and then you're thinking about that for months on end. So
it's a good point.
It's nice to be able to redeem yourself the next weekend if you do have a bad race.
Yeah, Casey, with the evolution of the Futures and the last couple of years they've had the combine and they're preparing you guys more. It seems that the guy that comes out of the amateurs that is just like that smoked everybody on super minis all the way up to A class. There's that one guy that doesn't seem to stand out as much. The competitions, like you mentioned, is heavier. Did you kind of start to see that was the case when you're looking up to the guys that were ahead of you a little bit? What have you learned from them, and how have you applied it to like what you're trying to learn now?
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, especially getting out there with the guys that are the best in the world. I mean, I have a great gauge of what speed I need to be and what fitness, everything with training with RJ every day. I mean, he's the points leader. So I have a great gauge being able to see where I need to be. And I'm actually super thankful for that. But with the whole like transitioning, I was actually talking to my dad about it before I went to Foxborough. Like, you go to these amateur races all year, and like your goal is always just to win. And then right before I went pro, my dad's looking at me. He's like, we were at St. Louis, actually, my last Futures race, and he was like, this might be the last time in like, I don't know how long that you might be able to line up and be like, okay, you have a really good shot at winning this, because I might not win a race for years now. You never really know. So it's definitely a change of pace, and you have to change your goals and what you look to be. But obviously, like, I think with my speed and where I'm at, I think if I get a whole good year of boot camp under me next year, then we'll be looking good for next year. So I'm just looking forward to that.
I like that your dad's real with you. That's cool. Like, he's not pumping. He's not like patting your ego. He's like, hey, man, be prepared. This is not going to be easy.
Yeah, I remember even after my first main in Foxborough, I got back, I was like, dang, it looks a lot easier on TV than it actually is.
Yeah. You look at it on TV, you're like, I could do that. Hell, yeah, I get it.
Is it hard to like kind of to stop yourself to like, you know, being safe and consistent and stop yourself from just like sending it sometimes when you want to find that extra little bit of speed?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough on Supercross because you have to be so precise, and if you know you do go for it a little too much, it can bite you. So you kind of do have to control yourself a little bit sometimes, and especially when, like, I'm in these stages right now of just learning and building, trying to get laps under me, not too like taking too many risks, just trying to stay healthy, and that's the main goal right now. I'm not too like, okay, we need to go out and send it and get the best result we possibly can. It's just, you know, get time under my belt and continue to progress.
That's good.
I'm kind of glad you said that because I had a note about that topic is what were your goals and expectations? What were the team's goals, expectations? Because I do think rookie season, even maybe year 2 is like, okay, let's get through it healthy. Let's learn, let's build. Year 3 is when you need to drop the hammer, in my opinion, but was that kind of the team and your goal going in? Just it's learning. Let's just be healthy.
Yeah, especially since I only have these 3 races.
Yeah.
It's very, very short, but it helps me so much with just being able to like open your eyes and see really what it takes and what it is. So I'm actually super thankful to have the team like commit to being able to even put together these 3 races with like the earlier mishaps we had in the season because it definitely will help me for next year, I believe. And yeah, the goal right now that we've all addressed is just go out there, have fun, and no really expectations, and go try your best, and whatever it is, that's what it is, and they're with it. So
I like that. And then earlier we were talking about the pace and the length of the main events and kind of getting used to that and getting in shape for that. You're at Baker's Factory. You mentioned training with RJ. What are some things that Alden helps you with to kind of build as you're just still a young kid, man? So you're building your strength. Hell, you may still go through another growth spurt. What is something that Alden's working on, kind of telling you to pace yourself?
Yeah, he's always he was actually saying before we went racing, he was like, if you're not within this time frame of RJ, I'm not letting you go race. And he said that because he was like, I don't want you to go out there and not make the main or whatever. And so yeah, he's always telling me like, this is where you need to be like to make a championship run. And yeah, I see it every day. And it's funny today, actually. This is just a funny story, kind of off topic, but
let's do it.
We were like kind of like getting close to the edge of the track, and so he went up and put up some track markers, and it was like the last few laps of the day, and I like knocked it over, and we got off, and everyone's done. He's like, I'll tell you at that track marker, you're going again, more laps. So he actually made me do more laps to hit the track marker.
I think I remember Dino doing that one of his videos a few years ago when he was at Husky, that he was cutting the track and they went out and put they were putting things in the way and Dino kept cutting the track. I think Alden's a stickler for that.
Yeah,
Stay on the track.
Definitely happens.
Hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
And that place is like perfection. He has that place looking like a golf course out there.
Yeah, stay off the grass, right? Yeah, we always hear about like he gets mad when people get on the grass.
Yeah, make you take a trip to Home Depot afterwards to fix the sod. Yeah. Hey Casey, how's it kind of been? You know, riding with I know Darkside's going to get into this topic in a minute, but riding with older guys, not just the young guys that you're used to, riding with guys that have more educated race knowledge, being able to have like race craft. Yeah, the race craft is higher. What was kind of your adjustments to that, especially, you know, that 15 to 20 minute or 10 to 15 minute mark on the mains where the track's just completely destroyed?
Yeah, a big part of racing and being able to win at this level is, you don't really think about it, but is being able to adapt to the track, because it changes so much throughout the main event, and the lines change and rhythms change. And to be able to see that and like adjust, like Cooper Webb is really good at that. And being able to just see things that other people don't see and move to that, and it ends up being faster, which in qualifying it wouldn't have been because the track wasn't as rough. But being able to have guys that are super experienced like Malcolm and RJ, even at the test tracks and at the races, it's super helpful. Those guys just pointing out little things, and they're always trying to help no matter what. So I'm super thankful for those guys and to have an experienced team around me. And then we train with Landon Gibson. He rides at Baker's with us. He just got on Rockstar, so he's a fresh face around there, and I can kind of we're just the two new guys, I guess,
Yeah.
and just taking it all in.
That you brought up a point that reminded me of a question I've asked a few times over the years. When you're at the test track, the Supercross test tracks, you can see the line. Like everybody hits the same marks, the same line every time. Do you force yourself to go, I'm going to go outside here, even though I know it's slower? Because in a race, you might have to do that. Do you force yourself to pick bad lines just to adapt?
Yeah, we'll do some motos at Alden's or even at the test tracks in California, where he'll be like, okay, we know that this rhythm isn't faster, but just to switch it up and do something different, because, you'll have to do that in the main event.
Yeah.
So we do that. And he's like, take this slower line just for this whole 15-minute moto, and then we'll go back to the normal one after, just to switch it up. Yeah, we do practice that.
Cool.
All right. Just to switch it up a little bit. So coming into these last few rounds of Supercross, you kind of had you had a goal of let's try to get into the main event and kind of see where it goes from there. Thinking about outdoors coming up here pretty soon, since you've had I guess you could say, a long history racing outdoors, do you have a little bit more expectations for yourself as far as, okay, so instead of doing top 20, my first goal is like a top 15?
Yeah, especially with it being my full first pro season. I guess there's more expectation to do well, because I'm actually going to be in a points fight with some people, and it actually matters. So, maybe the expectations are a little higher, but my goal is always just to go out and have fun and do the best I can do. And if it's a top 10 or top 5, even better, but because that's obviously what we want. And, that's my whole goal, or my whole attitude going into it. Just go have fun and really just take it all in and enjoy.
I like that. At this point in your career. That's great. Casey Cochran is brought to you tonight by Guts Racing. So you've reached a goal I assume you had since you were a little kid, of going pro, becoming a professional Supercross rider. You're 2 rounds into your Supercross professional Supercross career. Does it feel like you expected it to? Do you feel like, I'm here? Or is it like, it's just another day?
That's an interesting question. People, they always talk about it and they're like, when you get here, it's just the same old, and it's the same job, which it is. I'm still riding my dirt bike, doing the same thing I've been doing, but it's funny you say that. I was in Nashville riding to the gate this past weekend for the main event. It was probably around 8 p.m. or something, so it was just past sunset and it's dark out, and riding by the stadium, right by the river. In Nashville, to the left you have downtown, and to the right is the stadium all lit up. And I was just looking over at the stadium, looking at downtown. I looked at my mechanic and I was like, this is it. We made it. And this is what you dream about. And it's just, I got so excited just right then before the gate even dropped, just taking it all in, being in the position you dream about your whole life, and to be there. And I'm just, so thankful.
Good for you, man. I'm glad that you're taking that in. Don't forget that feeling, man. And 10 years from now, I hope you still have that same feeling, when you're riding to the gate for a 450 main, and I don't know, year 6 of your 450 career, you're like, dude, this is cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. And I'm so blessed to be in a position I'm in. And it's a surreal feeling when you really get to experience it.
Yeah. So you have that feeling. This is a dream come true. And I think if it was the main event when this happened, 15 minutes later, Phil Nicoletti's screaming at you.
I've had so many people ask me about
yeah.
this, and it's so funny. I'll give you the whole story from my point of view. We're down on the gate, and I was the gate pick right in front of him, and so I'm like choosing my gate, like looking down, and there was a gate probably like 6 from the inside of the box, and then there was a gate right on the outside of the box, and I was like trying to decide, and while I was deciding, Phil just rolled in the one on the outside, and the AMA guy was like, "Hey, you're behind him. You need to get out of the gate. He might want it." And Phil looks at me. He's like, "What are you doing, man? You got all this time to pick a gate. Pick a damn gate." And I'm like, "Dang, dude, relax."
I bet he didn't say it even. I bet there were some F-bombs in his version, though.
There probably was. I wasn't even thinking about it. And I was just I didn't even say anything back. I was just like, relax. And and then I told my mechanic to radio to Nate Ramsey what he thought I should do.
Yeah.
And so I just went with the inside gate, which I was more confident with. And I was talking to Seth Rarick today, and he was apparently, I guess he was talking to Phil about it, and Phil was saying that he told Seth, he was like, "I scared your guy and got the gate I wanted." I was like, "Dude, I didn't want that gate anyway."
Just next time, just say, "Phil, you just announced your retirement. Shut up." You quit. I told him
this is my second one, and this is like your second to last one.
Yeah.
I would have made him back out and take that gate. Like I just
to do it.
Just yeah. You gotta stand up to him, Casey.
I interviewed Phil this week for my question of the week, and I was like, "Well, I have a question about something that's might be happening in 2 years, but since you're a quitter and you just gave up, it doesn't even matter." He's like, "Yeah, F you, Dark Side." But
Casey, he did mention that he kind of smiled under his helmet when he got the gate he wanted, so he thought he did something.
Oh yeah, he thought he did something, but I wasn't taking the gate anyway.
Okay,
are you good, Scott?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a couple questions from our Vital Forum members, and then we'll let you go. All right, so I just asked Jalek Swoll the same question. This is from Sandman768. He said, "If you had to, could either of you adjust your chain or change your air filter? And bonus points if you know where the air filter is located."
The air filter for sure. I have changed an air filter in my day, not on the 250, but I have changed an air filter, so I could do that. Actually, I don't know about on my Husky. I don't really know how to get it off, but
it's probably gonna take 3 different tools with the Husky. It's gonna take a torque, an 8mm, and a screwdriver.
They're not pop-offs anymore. My KTM is.
Yeah, I was joking because when I had my Husky, the first time I took all the plastic off of it, I was taking the shrouds off, and it literally takes 3 stock. The factory teams change all that, but it took a torque, an 8mm, and I think a screwdriver. I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
Mine was like that too. Yeah.
Come on, Austria.
I think I could do the chain too. I've watched it enough.
All right.
I think I could. I've never personally done it, but I think I could do it.
I got one more here, actually, and this was also for Jalek, and I cannot say this guy's screen name because it's just a bunch of letters and numbers, but he wants to thank you for, I guess you signed his son and his buddy's birthday boards at Nashville?
I did. I do remember that.
Well, the guy's giving you a thanks. So, and like I told Jalek, man, that kind of stuff is that goes a long way, right? Having a good personality. And I've known you a little bit. I've met you a couple years ago, and you're always happy and smiling and having fun. You've talked about it a bunch tonight. Like you're just out there you're having a good time, having fun. And yeah, that's important, man. Keep that personality.
Yeah, it's funny that you talk about the autograph because it was at Foxborough. I had my first official autograph session that the teams do, and they had me. It was just me and Malcolm there, so they set us up side by side, and the fans they stopped at Malcolm first, and then me next, and then went on about their day. And it was probably about, I would say, 15% of the people that were in line got Malcolm's autograph and then just dipped. They're just like, nah. They just walked by. I'm like, yep, good to meet you too.
That's funny. I was wondering about it because I've seen that, and then even when I was just a fan and I was getting autograph, I would be like, yeah, I don't know who this is, but I'll get it just to be nice. I don't think I would, as you say, dip. I'd be like, yeah, dude, cool. Yeah.
No, there was a handful of people that just kept on walking. I'm like, yep. Good to see you.
That's great.
You got to do something you got to take somebody out or like pull the whole shot and do
Or
a no
win.
footer or something, or win. Yeah, something like that. Then they'll be there.
Yeah, I got to do something to stand out.
Bro, yeah, you got to earn it. I don't know, man. I don't know. Signing autographs, it's just a weird thing anyway.
Hey, Casey, we had a kind of the little bit of a discussion in our chat, and I've heard this before. There seems to be a little bit of confusion on how the points works for the futures and the combine. Just kind of briefly take us through how many points that you got at your different events that you did, and how you got your card.
Yeah, so I got my outdoor. The two pro licenses are different for outdoor and Supercross.
Right.
So after Loretta's, I was a B rider up until Loretta's because I raced B at Loretta's last year, and then right after that, I went to A class, and you have to get. I'm not sure exactly how it was, but I had to get 2 A class. Oh, this is how it worked actually. You had to have 2 A class finishes, and you can appeal for a pro license to the AMA, and they can decide if they want to give it to you or not, like if you deserve it, I guess. But you have to have a minimum of 2. So I went to Unadilla Amateur Day, like the weekend after Loretta's, and raced on Friday there. It was a 2-moto format. Moto 1s were on Friday and Moto 2s were on Sunday. And so I raced just the Moto 1s on Friday and then packed up and left and went to a Pro-Am. I forgot the name of the track. But it was some random Pro-Am up in the Northeast and raced it on Sunday. And so that basically classified as 2 finishes because I raced the Pro-Am, but I DNF'd the second motos on Sunday at Unadilla, but it still counted as an A-class finish. So then we were able to appeal and get the pro license for outdoors so I could race Bubs Creek and Ironman last year. So that one was pretty simple. But then for Supercross, with doing futures last year, I was a B rider all year, and even with winning it, I didn't get any pro points for my Supercross license because they don't award them to B riders. You have to be classified as an A rider when you sign up. So then this year they made me have to do some futures to get my points, and how it worked was you needed 4 Supercross points to get your pro license, and to get 4 was if you top 10'd a Supercross futures race, you got 2, and it didn't matter if you were 1st or 10th, you still got 2 points. So I had to get 4, so I had to get 2 top 10 finishes in futures to be able to get my pro license.
There it is.
Yeah,
that explains it.
Well,
appreciate it, Casey. Yeah, man, really appreciate you jumping on here. It's always a pleasure getting a chance to talk to you. Again, you're just a happy-go-lucky kid, and I really appreciate that. And I hope you can continue to have that same attitude throughout your career. And I wish you much success, buddy. Boy, I can't speak.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll have a good night. And are you riding tomorrow?
Not tomorrow. Day off tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, last week. I tried to get him on last week, but I needed him in our later time slot. And he's like, yeah, I can't, man. I got to ride tomorrow. So
sounds like a problem for yourself.
Well, it's tough when all our guests are on the East Coast because somebody's going to get like a 9:45 time slot.
Yeah.
And like last night when RJ went on Pulp, he's like, yeah, Darkside tried to have me on the show last night. He tried to have me on at midnight. I was like, bro, we're not on at midnight. Come on. But yeah,
I heard that. I was like, bro, what? Yeah, we're not that late.
He gave me some shit too. So, but yeah. I mean, I can't help that they live on the East Coast. All right, Casey, have a good night, buddy, and thanks for your time.
Yes, sir. You too. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Anytime, bud. See ya. Casey Cochran, brought to you by Guts Racing tonight. Good times. Let's jump. You guys ready? You got anything else before we move into the troll training top 5?
No, he was. Casey was good. He was very well spoken, and
I like
it's the first time I talked to him, and I think
is it?
Have we had him on?
I think he came on after last year at Freestone, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They start to run together.
Yeah, I think last year at Freestone's when I first met him, and then we got him on.
That probably makes sense.
Unless what I did was for Vital, maybe I did something for Vital with him.
Yeah,
I think he was on the show.
It is funny. Like when I'm watching the race with like some friends, or I'm sitting there watching the house, and the fiance is watching it with me, and it's like it's crazy looking at all the list of people, like in all the classes, and it's like, yeah, there's like 2 of those guys we haven't talked to.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool to look at it sometimes.
For some reason, just popped into my head. I actually mentioned this earlier when we were talking about Daxton Bennett. Gage Linville, who came on the show, rides for Dirt Bike Depot team, full privateer. Just want to give that kid a shout out. Kid is riding awesome.
That Deegs battle was awesome.
Yeah, and then second in the LCQ, keeping Daxon behind him. He's a kid that, like, if I was a team manager and I needed like a fill-in, I'd be maybe give this kid a shot, see what he can do with a little bit better equipment. You know, I feel like he works hard from what I understand. He's working with Yogi, Ezra Lusk, and I like that kid. So just shout out to Gage. You good, man? You look like you're about to fall asleep, bro.
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Troll Training Top 5. This week, the Troll Training Top 5 is top 5 favorite roller coasters or amusement park rides. First of all, though, Troll Training is used by riders like Grant Harlan, Jeremy Martin, Henry Miller, Jason Anderson, and myself. Troll Training is the culmination of a combined 3 decades spent in the trenches of the professional sports scene, refining training methods, learning, absorbing, and training alongside some of the best in the business. Alex Martin and John Wesleyan have expert guidance in helping you navigate the many nuances of training, including periodization, endurance, strength and conditioning, riding technique, on the bike structure, nutrition, and more. Excuse me. Again, especially if you're an older guy like myself and you're looking to get in shape, maybe feel a little bit better, want to be able to go ride the motorcycle a little bit longer, and you don't really know what to do, Troll Training is a really great place to kind of get started. They have some different options, package options, price options. You don't have to be a guy that's a professional athlete like a Jason Anderson to get some success out of this. It really does help. I love opening my calendar every day. I mean, okay, this is what I'm doing today. These are the exercises I'm doing today. Here's a YouTube video if you don't know how to do this exercise. And yeah, just go knock them out, send my information over to the guys, communicate with them when I need to. It's really great. Trolltraining.com. Does anybody else want to go first for their?
Yeah, I mean, I guess this was kind of my idea, so I'll start it off.
MotoXpod@gmail.com if you would like to get involved with this. Next week, Troll Training Top 5 is going to be our top 5 favorite gear brands of all time. So if you want to get, I think this will be a hot topic with our listeners. MotoXpod@gmail.com. Send us your thoughts on top 5 gear brands of all time. Go ahead, Scotty. Knock it out.
I'm going to do I kind of, top 5 music parks or bucket list stuff, because there's some rides that I've never gotten to ride, but I would say I've got the Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster at Disney World.
Okay.
Was legit. You go, it's an indoor, it's like in the dark basically. Like all you can really,
those are fun.
Yeah, all you can really see is because it's like the whole idea of the show, the ride is that you're running late, you're leaving the recording still, and you're trying to make it to the concert or something like that.
Okay.
So you go into the dark, uphill, like 80 miles an hour, like boom, in like 2 or 3 seconds. So it's cool. You can, and that one's, I like that one a lot. The Six Flags over Texas here in Arlington has a ride called Mr. Freeze.
Never rode that one, actually.
Kind of the same thing. You kind of start out, you just go 0 to 60, like boom, like that, and you go up and backwards and down, and that one's fun. One of the amusement parks is what I want to go to is Cedar Point. It's
You want to go, or you want to talk about it? Okay.
No, I've never gotten to go.
Okay. Cool.
Want to go there. It's got one of my other rides on here, which is called the Beast, which is a giant wooden roller coaster, like bigger than the Texas Giant, and sometimes they run it at night, and it's like in the dark, like it's like
sweet.
Yeah, like so I thought that would be cool, and I also want to go ride the Ferrari roller coaster. I've
heard about that.
Yeah. You go like 100 something miles an hour. I don't know. I've just seen it on social media.
Yeah,
and it looks cool.
What? Well, I'll ask this in a minute. Do you want to go next? Do you have any?
Not right now.
Are you okay? You don't seem like you're feeling very good.
Yeah, I'll be all right in just a minute.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to give a shout out. Paul Worth sent us an email, and he said, without question, the greatest amusement park ride is Walt Disney World's Rise of the Resistance. It is a full 20 minutes of role-playing interaction with cast members, motion simulators, trackless ride systems, and free falls. It is the most amazing ride ever fabricated. That it is set in Disney's Star Wars land, a total immersive multi-acre land complete with strolling Chewbacca's, Rays, Stormtroopers, and Vaders makes it so complete. There's no other in the top 5 because this ride ups the game so completely. It is truly revolutionary and groundbreaking. I have never got to go to Disney World. I did tell Amber I want to go to Disneyland, to the Star Wars land. I don't think it's as big or the same as Daytona. The one in is it Daytona? Where Disney World is?
I think Orlando.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know.
Isn't that close? I don't know Florida topography very well, but I got to say it's pretty close.
I don't either. But either way, that's a cool option. And me being a Star Wars dork, I'm all in. He said, as for future top fives, please consider top 5 innovations for motorcycles in my lifetime. Top 5 historical significant people, top 5 pizza toppings, top 5 vacation destinations we've done, top 5 sitcoms. So we got some other options there. We'll come back to that. But all right, I'm gonna do mine. So I think I actually have 6 on here. Do you need some allergy medicine? Do you have an EpiPen? No, you don't die on live on the air here.
Yeah.
Don't die. So I put like in quotations, this isn't an amusement park ride, but skydiving, first of all. Like it's not exactly the same, but I still had to throw skydiving in. But my rides, I haven't been to that many cool amusement parks, but Six Flags is over Texas, the Shockwave and the Titan and the Texas Giant.
The Shockwave.
What about it? What? Isn't that the one that does the double loops?
Yeah, I mean, it was cool in like 1969.
All right, bro.
Actually, that was the first like big roller
Titan's
coaster
the
ever
big
rode.
one though, right? That has the big drum. Okay, so
cool.
all right, well let's cross off Shockwave since it's old.
That was the first like big roller coaster I rode when I was like 7 or 8, and like my eyes like blacked out, and like my dad like I didn't. You're supposed to like I wasn't strong enough to hold my head back.
Oh,
so I was just like like the whole time.
So okay. Anyway, Titan and the Texas Giant, which is the wooden one at Texas Six Flags over Texas. Magic Mountain, I think is the ride. Or, is Magic Mountain? Maybe
it's a park, I think.
Okay, what is the one at that used to be in the dark at Disney?
Oh, Runaway Mountain.
No, that's Six Flags, isn't it? There was
at Disney.
Space Mountain. Space Mountain at Disneyland was in the dark. I like that.
God, you're old.
These are all old because I haven't been to these places, dude. I haven't been to Disneyland. I've never been to Disney World. I haven't been to Disneyland since 88 or 89.
Yeah.
So I haven't been. So like Star Tours was a Star Wars ride then. I thought that was cool. Yeah. So it's on my list. And my other one is the Zipper. You know what the Zipper is? The Zipper is the ride. It looks like an oval shaped or oblong Ferris wheel at the.
Is this one like carnivals?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Where the cages spin.
Yeah.
So it's the whole device is spinning while the cages are spinning like in a different direction. I rode that when I was like 12 or 13. It's still my favorite ride.
Yeah.
That's my number one.
We went to a carnival, like one of those like ones that they do in like mall parking lots.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we went to one a couple months ago, and there was this ride where it swings like this back and forth. But you're
making a motion, but people in the air can't. It swings like the boat one.
Yeah, the boat, but it spins. It spins, and it also
I can't spin.
It also doesn't like it doesn't just stay straight up and down. Like it's like you're going like every angle.
So it's like multiple different things happening.
And like when you go up to the top, you're like you're like weightless, and then you come back down.
I don't know if I can. I don't do well spinning. I can flip. But spinning, like when you get on the tire swing and spin, like that used to make me really sick.
This is like that.
I'm not sure that I can handle that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're out.
Yeah. I like the Batman rides.
Oh, the Batman ones are good. Yeah.
Batman.
See, I never did that. And there was one, again, I'm old, when I was in high school at Magic Mountain in California, Six Flags Magic Mountain, they had what I think was called the Ninja that it hung from the bottom, which I think is more common now.
Yeah.
And so when you went around a corner, it would swing out. I always wanted to do that, but I never got to.
A lot of people don't like the wooden coasters because they're so rough, but those are the ones that have those are the ones that are that are crazy because like that's made out of wood, like, and it's like a lot of work.
You're telling me the wooden roller coasters are made out of wood?
It's those are like engineeringly wise, like just like super impressive. So it's cool.
What do you think about the big like the swings at amusement parks that like go in circles and you sling way out and shit?
My fiance and I went to Six Flags when we've been together for maybe about a year. We went to Six Flags. And
did you just say you've been together a year, or you
had been? We had been.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we've been together almost 4 years. But
right,
anyways,
cool.
we went and we did like the Freeze and the Titan and all these rides, and like I'm like, yeah, this was fun. It was like nothing. Yeah. And then we did the giant swing, like it takes you like higher than anything in the park.
Yeah.
And then it swings you out, and you're on a chain that looks like something that like I would lock like my scooter up with, and it's like. At that one freaked me out more than riding any of the other ones. They're
Can
actually
you
like,
imagine, like I know it's happened, like where those chains snap and you're
oh
just
yeah,
like, pew! And it's kind of like
that's all I could think the whole time.
the
Like, I'm
X-Men
just,
form check-in when you get stuck wide open. What do you do?
Yeah.
The chain snaps on the swing. What do you do? Like,
yeah, I can't feel like I was like oh, I'm just about to fly into that target over there. Like,
be awesome.
yeah.
Do you have a list, or are you not feeling up to it?
Not feeling up to it.
Okay. Do you need a roll?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for the Troll Training Top 5. We're going to get into Evan's Coolant emails, and we have a bunch of them. I'm going to try to be a little bit better at this week and get them up. Evan's Coolant, Evan's waterless coolant protects your engine because it always stays liquid. Steam inside the engine creates hot spots and detonation, but with Evans, the metal is always liquid cooled. Used by HRC Honda, Factory Beta USA, Ampro, Factory Yamaha, and lots of other teams, regardless of sponsorships, Evans is in the bikes on the podium. Let's open these things up. Back up to the first few. All right, we're going to start with Chris Wood sent an email with some more top 5s. We'll get into that. Shane Bagley, working on your show. Banger interview with Hayden. Fantastic interview. You're on a roll because the Tomac interview was great too, a couple weeks ago. Like TJ said, people forget Hayden has grown up young in the sport with a ton of expectations and hate at the same time. It's got to be hard, and we are watching him grow up in front of us while winning on the highest level. It's nuts. Enjoy Nashville. Thanks, Shane. Yeah, what do you guys think about that, man? Just being a kid, can you imagine being 16, 17 years old and growing up in the spotlight with all that pressure and all the fandom and just what they're going through? Like, that's a lot for a kid that age.
Yeah, that's probably a good reason why I didn't find that kind of success when I was that age, because I don't think I'd have handled it very well.
Oh, you weren't successful because you couldn't have handled it?
Yeah, that's why.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why.
I thought that's what you just said. No?
I thought you were. I don't know.
I'm making fun of you.
You started to make fun of me, and I was just trying to steer to the skid. I didn't really know what you were trying to make fun of me for.
Because I thought you said that's why I think I didn't find much success because I couldn't have handled it. You're saying I could have been successful, but I couldn't have handled it.
I'm saying like the universe didn't allow me. The universe didn't allow me to be successful because I couldn't have handled it.
All right. Okay. I'm with you now. I thought you were saying I have enough talent to be successful.
Oh no, I didn't have that.
But
either,
I couldn't have handled it. That's what I thought you were.
I'm saying I wasn't given talent because I would have screwed it up anyway. So
okay.
Give it to the next guy.
All right. I'm gonna accept that. Thoughts on it?
I'm good.
Bro, are you done?
Yeah, I think
You just
so.
gotta chill?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Paul Bowser. My comment is not so much what you can do to be better. Oh, we talked about press conference and stuff. Be better at the pressers. My comment is try not to let the internet trolls rule the day. They represent the minority, and the stupid minority at that. Kind of like Mathis always says, and I am older than him. I used to have to wait for Cycle News 4 days later to see what happened. Then we got really technological and had 1/900 hot race. I would wait an hour. Anyway, he's basically saying, don't listen to people complaining and just like, we're lucky to have what we have. Things are better than what they were. It's a good email, and I appreciate the kind words. Anthony Bennett was commenting on TJ's top 5 ways to die last week. And he said, yeah, he's into some weird shit that you don't know about. Basically, TJ's into some weird shit. Because remember,
his were weird.
He wanted to suffer.
Like mine was like dive in front of a car to save an old lady or something like that. And his were like have his skin peeled off and be burned to a crisp. It was weird, man.
Yeah. And he sent a photo of, like, he said, I'm sure this is what TJ's closet looked like. And it's like a bunch of whips and chains and stuff. Like S&M.
Yeah, probably so. The stat of TJ's closet.
That scares me. That scares me. I don't even want to think about what him and Kathy might be doing with his.
You don't have to say her name.
We talked about Kathy before. She's cool, but TJ's not.
Yeah.
Larry's Junior 1986 said some breaking news to look into. I just watched Cooper Webb's Facebook story, which I haven't seen this yet, so I can't really comment. And there's a little video clip where he talks about outdoor testing, and he mentioned that he doesn't have a teammate for outdoors. No one is sure about Eli yet, but is J Coop not racing the 450s outdoors? I did not go watch this video. Did anybody see it?
Mm-mm.
I meant to go watch it. got sidetracked. Sorry about that. As far as I know, yes, Justin is riding outdoors. We'll try to look into that a little bit more. Maybe we can make some comments next week.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the one about the amusement park rides. And last one here, Nick Addison. Yeah, you can come sit down. Don't worry about it. What's up, y'all? Riders are always talking about the risk versus reward aspect of racing, especially after having kids, etc. So in the early 2000s, we were seeing some signs that RC might have some real competition from a young Travis Pastrana. I believe had he stuck to racing, history may have played out differently. Bring me back to risk versus reward. Pastrana decided to keep increasing his risk and reward, doing much, much bigger things, and ultimately being the most successful rider to, as we say, transcend the sport. Maybe Travis just had a lot more to offer than winning titles, and my personal opinion is that he did have the raw speed and talent to beat Ricky. I think at the very least, we need to recognize Travis more. Would love to see him on the show. Yeah, we would too. I have some connections through Randy Richardson with Travis, but we haven't really been able to get him on the show. But the risk versus reward thing as these guys get older, that's just what Phil just said this week with retiring. He's like, I'm not willing to do some of the things it takes anymore. And, you know, to me, those guys start to back it down. They can still make some money. They can still be relatively successful and race, but not at the podium position necessarily. I don't have an issue with that. Like, yeah, I mean, back it down, but it's definitely a factor.
I always ride at like 90%, like even from racing or from normally like 85 to 90%. I never do it. So the fact that those guys did it for that long, you know, that's impressive. So, it's just it's kind of how the way life goes. When you get to that age, you're not willing to do it.
Bro, no doubt. It takes a lot longer to heal up as we get older.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to move into guest number 3. If you guys are in the chat, you got any questions? As long as they're respectful. But the next guest is brought to you by Blood Lubricants. Jeremy, do you think all oil is the same?
No.
Well, it's not. It's a bit like food in that you can have all the same ingredients, but a great chef will make something that knocks your socks off. Blood Lubricants was developed from over 40 years of knowledge in the oil business and is used by racers in the most grueling motorsports on the planet, including the Baja, NASCAR, Indy, NHRA, sprint cars, motocross, supercross, and many more. Blood Lubricants has a reputation for lasting longer than other brands, as long as you put the drain plug back in, and is known to keep your bike running up to 30 degrees cooler. Simply put, if you want the best oil you can buy in your machine, you want Blood Lubricants. That's BLUD. Visit bloodlubricants.com. Use promo code VMX, capitals, VMX25 to save.
Yeah, that's a disclaimer. It does not work if you don't.
I bet your bike still ran longer than other bikes.
It actually did.
Yeah, so there you go.
It never ceased.
Tonight, Blood Lubricants brings us my girlfriend, quote unquote, Veronica, Amber.
Veronica.
Hi, guys.
What's up, babes?
Hi.
Yeah, just make sure the mic's in your face just a little bit. But
All right.
how you doing tonight?
I'm all right.
You don't really feel super comfortable being here?
Not really.
So one of our listeners says you have very pretty hair. Is that
thank
breaks
you.
the ice?
Thanks.
Wow, they're being nice. Sorry.
Yeah, so far they're gonna make fun of you, not her.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
I don't mind. I'm used to it. All right, so yeah, we'll start this off. Like, people have asked a lot of questions about you. You've gotten a lot of follow requests.
A lot.
Which she's not accepting. If she doesn't know you, she's not accepting. I think there's a few, like Pookie, Steve's wife, same thing. If she doesn't know you, she's not following.
Yeah, I'm sure it's crazy.
But yeah, so some of the questions I've gotten, we've heard, right, is let's just start with how we got introduced to each other. What's your perspective from it? What do you remember?
I got a text from Heather Kiefer.
Yeah.
And I asked her if she was texting the right Amber.
Why? Because she said, we have this loser that's staying with us, and can you just like...
It was just not a normal question that she
from
would
Heather.
ask. Yeah.
What'd you think? Were you kind of like, were you all about it?
No, not really.
Until she sent the picture, and then you're like, oh, I'm in now.
Yeah, well, well, she sent me a picture of you and Dax, and I was like, oh, it's Dax? Okay.
Oh, Dax Shepard?
Yeah. That's kind of messed up.
Fair point. Hey, good job, Heather.
She kind of
tricked her.
Like made you like oh, look, he kind of looks. I mean, it's Dax. Yeah, it's funny.
All right. Well, I mean, I got the same thing. She showed me your photo, and I was like, yeah, she's hot. I'm in. Yeah. So once I texted you, and we kind of set up a schedule when we'd meet. Like, what were your thoughts, your expectations? What I told you. You asked me where like what I wanted to do. And I said, you're from this area. You pick a place. If you want your friends to come so you'll be more comfortable because you don't know me. But what was your thought process when this was going on? Like, what were you thinking? What were your expectations?
I don't even know what I was thinking. I know I did not have any hopes because I didn't want high hopes to be let down. So, but I did have my best friend with me. I had Sherry with me. And when we walked in, she screamed
don't follow
your
request Sherry either. Leave her alone.
She screamed your name as you walked in the door, and she wanted to make you feel uncomfortable.
She did though. No,
it did not work.
No, I just went up and gave her a hug. And
You've heard how much crap they give him on pole. Like he's good
all day. Yeah.
So we had our first date, and how did that go as far from your point of view?
It went good. I thought it
obviously.
went good. Obviously.
Yeah.
This is where we're at.
Yeah.
When did the first time did they call you and like put you on the air? Was that after the first date or
that
before?
was the Monday after?
Monday after.
After, okay. Yeah. That was
one date. And then I went and did pole.
That was entertaining. Just the conversation.
And she was cool, right?
No, she was
played
great.
Along,
no,
I gave her a lot of heads up.
She was great. Just the way, just listen to them. It's always entertaining.
Actually, let's go to that. So I had to tell you, like, okay, he's going to make fun of me wearing a bandana and me having a ponytail and this, and all these weird, I had to give you a list of these things that you were probably like,
we've come a long way, Amber. We've come a long way.
What are you talking about? Yeah. What were you thinking when I told you those things? Anything at all, or like,
no? Because it's kind of like my crowd that I hang out with. They're the same way.
Yeah, they just bust balls.
Yeah.
So you played along really well.
I saw a guy the other day leaving Walmart with a ponytail, and I was like, man, Dark's he's come a long way.
So far. So far.
Easy.
Did you see pics? It was.
Yes.
I showed her.
It was a lot.
I prepared her. I tried to just let's get all this out in the open because I figured she needed to know before they called her. So, all right. So
Smart.
First date went okay. What was your impression of me by the end of the night?
I thought you were fun, and you were a nice guy, shockingly, and
she knows you now. So,
well, no, I mean, even at first, I did text you that.
Yeah,
I did, and then you asked me if I wanted to go out on another date before Anaheim 2. And we did, and that's where we're at.
And then you took you to Anaheim to the race with me for Anaheim 2.
Yes,
that was the first time we spent like a whole day together.
TJ said that you're going to let her down.
I mean, at this point, we've spent a whole week together, like 24 hours a day this week. So I think if there's going to be any problems, you got to get up on the mic a little more. They can't hear you.
Are you tired of me yet?
Well, yeah, but I mean,
that has nothing to do with what.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Maybe they're being gross.
No, I'm saying no.
Oh, okay. I'm lost.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, but so we went to A2 and you met. I mean, there was a few quote unquote listeners of the show, and people were kind of like, you were getting an experience of what it's like in the industry a little bit, and behind the scenes, and in the press box, and. You still stuck around? You didn't leave yet?
No,
it's like,
I stayed.
What are your thoughts to the moto fans? You've gotten a little bit of feedback, especially in Nashville this week.
Nashville was crazy.
And just how everything goes. Like, what are your thoughts on this industry and what I do and all the guys do and all the attention that you've gotten?
I don't really care about the attention on that end, but I think what you guys do is fun. I enjoy being around it.
Amber's not like a super cross fanatic. She thinks racing's cool in general, but you've been having fun, and it's been good. And we have to give thanks to Heather Kiefer, and Chris told us today, what the fuck, why don't you say thanks to me too? Because it really was Chris that started the whole thing while he and I and Heather were in the hot tub. He brought it up. Heather just picked the right woman, I think.
And sent the text.
Yeah, so... And it's gone good.
He was trying to take credit for it.
This long distance thing is new to both of us, and we're figuring that out. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And
is Darkside more or less famous than you thought he was when you went to the races?
I don't know. It's Darkside.
Yes. Yeah, he's kind of.
She doesn't call me that, by the way. That's not.
No, I don't.
Yeah. See, it's weird for me to call him Jamie. I feel like I'm like, who the hell is Jamie? Yeah.
But yeah, even this week, like being downtown Nashville and having people wanting to take our picture holding hands, that you're not used to that kind of stuff. And
not at all.
Don't worry, it didn't take long.
Yeah.
No.
They got it quick.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm okay. You're okay. I'm okay. Like to the listeners who think I'm weird and creepy and
Yes, you're okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah, you're okay.
You gonna stick around?
Maybe.
Is
Yeah.
there? Wait.
She goes home tomorrow.
Was
though.
I
there?
go home tomorrow.
Was there someone asked about a dog? Is there a dog?
I do have a dog.
Okay.
That's
is this
not what they're asking.
No,
What dog?
they said is the dog a poodle or a Great Dane?
Oh,
That's not what they're asking either, dummy.
Well, I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know.
Use your gutter thoughts.
I don't want to. I don't want to use those thoughts.
It's not what they're asking.
Okay.
Okay.
Moving on. They say stuff. I say it. I don't really think about it.
All right. Well, I just wanted you guys to get a chance to meet you for a minute.
Yeah.
You're not super comfortable being in here, but I'm glad that you came in, and I have a lot of fun with you. I was at a point where I wasn't expecting to ever meet anybody that was going to match up with what I got going on and what I wanted. And so far, even though it's only been like 3 months, it's pretty awesome.
I think so too.
Yeah. I think I might keep you around for a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Sure, it's not the other way around.
Did you ask her if that was okay first?
No, this is the first time we've discussed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what did you think whenever you found out they call him Darkside?
I asked him why.
Then he just lifted up his shirt.
Yeah. No, he really did.
Yeah. I mean, look, my stomach tattoo is a regret.
Yeah.
But I've said this a bunch. Maybe not everybody knows. I do have dark side on my stomach. It wasn't like nobody was calling me dark side then. It was just I wanted a stomach tattoo. I love Star Wars, and I think the bad guys are cool. And I was like, fuck it, I'm getting dark side. It's stupid. It's a regret. I have like 3 tattoos I regret, and that's one of them.
When I first started doing the show and hanging out with him, we went and did a ride day, and like I knew him as Dark Side. I knew him from the Pulp Show and as Dark Side, and I'd seen Star Wars at the studio and stuff. And then we went riding for I think it was the first time I rode with him like that, and we were putting our gear on, and I was like, damn, he's really committed to being Dark Side. Like, the fool is in it. Like, he's got it tattooed on his stomach and everything. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anyway, so yeah, things are really good. They've gone a lot better and a lot faster than I would have expected.
I would agree. Yeah.
I think Chris called today to ask how things were. You guys know Chris Kiefer? You know what he really wanted to know? And I had him on speakerphone. He had no idea she was like laying next to me on the couch. So he's asking the questions Chris Kiefer would answer, and she just starts laughing. He's like, "Oh shit, is she there?" I was like, "Yep."
You can't stop now, bro.
So she went all in. She answered all his questions. It was pretty.
That's nice. Yeah.
So then he told Dark Side over here that
You can call me Jamie,
he's going to
please.
start asking me instead of him first.
Yeah, you please just call me Jamie.
Dark.
Yeah.
So
Nobody knows
any
you as
other
that.
chat questions before we?
No, everybody said that a lot of compliments. They said that that you're very pretty and good job,
Thanks.
Dark. And that they were like that you're. He didn't say, nobody said this, but Dark Side's basement. So it's okay.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because a lot of people say Chris and I look alike, and we're both basement as F.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Chris and I, but
somebody, I already know the answer to this question because you don't like calling him Dark Side, but they said, does she say dark in the heat of the night?
I'm not going to tell you what she says.
I don't think it's dark.
There's a lot of things that get said.
All right, so yeah.
All right, well, so that's Amber.
Very nice to meet
Amber.
you.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
But we're going to wrap the show up. We got 2 more segments. Stick here for we're going to do the ProX highs and lows. I want to hear what your highs
do you
feel
have
like
any?
are.
You don't have to try to do 5, but do you have any top amusement park rides?
She's out on skydiving. I can tell you that. But
I'm out. Yeah, I'm out on skydiving. I'm
amusement-
out on free fall.
Yeah.
But any roller coaster, any thrill ride like that. Yeah.
Okay.
She grew up
Pretty much anything.
in the high desert. She's a desert rat, so she loves to go like ATV. Like she's into fun stuff like
Yeah.
that. She has a side by side, and they go
Oh,
hauling
nice.
ass.
What kind of side by side do you have?
I have a Razor.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's fun.
And then we go rock crawling. We take the Jeeps out.
Yeah.
But
Here all the rednecks just put a bunch of beer in their cooler and go put it in a mud puddle.
We've talked about
yeah,
that.
it's just mudding out here.
Yeah.
It's not true.
There is
Off-roading.
a barn. We did a Dark Side, and I attempted to do a hard enduro there, but we actually have a mountain that actually has some really cool rock climbing stuff,
Yeah.
but it's it's mostly just mud puddles.
Right. So she's into some cool stuff like that. She's definitely like an adrenaline
Nice.
junkie type person. We match up. Where I said she went watch. Yeah. What did you think of me riding today? Was it pretty embarrassing?
No, I think you did good today.
Cool. Yep.
Oh, that's so sweet. You're so.
No, he
Don't lie to
definitely
him.
looked more comfortable on the taller seat.
Oh, see, I was testing.
okay.
See, she was paying attention. Yeah. She's right.
Yeah.
The taller seat I did like more.
See, I would not like that. I'm too short. It's already. Can I get a shorter one?
You would be standing in the seat with somebody touching your butt.
I probably so, honestly.
All right, let's do ProX highs and lows real quick. We're going to wrap this thing up. ProX is rooted in racing from motocross to off-road and supporting teams such as Ampro Yamaha, Pro Circuit Kawasaki, and SLR Honda. What we got?
Someone said, "Tell her to blink twice, if she feels safe."
They have been. That's why I kept her back there while you guys were here, so you wouldn't be able to get her out of here if she.
No, we're the problem.
No,
okay.
I'm like she might want to tell you guys, get me out of here.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
They've been supplying quality components for almost 50 years, from complex jobs like an engine rebuild to simple maintenance, including filters, chains, and sprockets. ProX aims to bridge the gap between OE quality and affordability. Find ProX at your local dealer or visit prox-usa.com and search for parts for your bike. Had a bunch of parts shipped from ProX recently, or ProX, however you want to say it. Appreciate those guys. What we got? We're laughing at.
Oh, nothing.
Oh, I thought there was something worth bringing up from the chat. No?
So, Pony Pod after dark.
Pony? No, that's Kiefer's thing. All right. ProX highs and lows. So your high points and your low points of the week. Jeremy, your low point might be having an allergic reaction during the live show and almost dying.
Yeah.
What you got any highs? You got any lows?
For the races this past weekend,
Just in general life. It doesn't have to be just races. Kids playing game. You talked about sports with the kids.
yeah.
So whatever stands out.
I guess low is almost dying here with allergic
Yeah,
reaction.
that'd be a low. It'd
Um,
be a high for the show. We'd probably get a lot of ratings. But
all right. Man, what the hell just happened to this guy?
Yeah.
Man, high so far this week. Man, it's been a rush. So I guess going to my kids' baseball practice games.
Yeah, family time.
Yeah, family time.
Sure.
Just doing that. Oh, I did my fork seals the other day, and I'm
Okay.
ready to go for the weekend.
There you go. Scotty?
My highs. Wait, did I have highs?
Oh, boy.
My
You're not
lows.
prepared at all.
No, my lows were that I didn't get to ride this weekend because of the rain.
Yep.
That was a big low. And a high was I got to go bowling with some buddies. That was cool. And then as far as the races go, the lows were the Pro Circuit team. We kind of already talked about that.
I have injuries in general. Kenny,
Yeah.
Chase. Well, Chase seems okay. Marchbanks, concussion. Yeah, so yeah, I'm with you on that.
And I guess that's pretty much it.
All right, I got highs were the a week with Amber actually is on here. She's been here the whole week. Yep. So
Good
brownie
smooth.
points. The racing this week, or I'm racing this coming weekend. I put that on as a high right now. I'm happy that I'm going to race this weekend, getting a gate drop.
We've talked about this.
You don't like me jumping ahead, but I'm
You can't do that. It's not.
F you, bro. Fine,
not
I'll cross it
working.
out. But I already said it, so it doesn't matter. Being at the race this weekend is the last Supercross we'll be at this year, but that was a high being there, meeting Ray Luzier. That was really cool.
Hanging out with Lewis.
I'm obviously seeing Lewis, dude. It was great. Actually, hanging with Lewis and Kellen in the press box, and Sean was up there, and of course Amber was up there. But hanging with those guys and not having
Not court.
that Pulp MX guy around.
There was no court
Hell,
being
seeing
held.
McGrath, I got to introduce Amber to McGrath.
Oh, that's
dude,
cool.
Come on,
Yeah.
it's Jeremy freaking McGrath. She told me she had a crush on him when she was a kid too.
I was
so.
saying, everybody knew who he was. Like
Yeah.
even if you didn't do motocross, like you knew who Jeremy.
She had a crush on Jeremy, so she met one of her crushes. I mean, I might be losing her. Who knows? But yeah, those are my highs. And I also actually got to talk to Adam Cianciarillo and just tell him, man, I really appreciate you being in the sport. And the times I've got to interview him, it's been really good. I don't know how often I'm going to see him after this, right? Not going to that many races, so maybe
He'll be around.
Yeah, some, but who knows if I'll see him that much. So those are my highs. My lows were the injuries and Amber going home tomorrow. Kind of blows. Gotten used to her being here.
Yeah.
Not stoked she's having to leave, but she does. She's got her own kids and her life back there. She needs to get back. The kids are missing her greatly, so definitely want her to get back to her kids. But I'm bummed about it. So those are mine. Do you have any high points for the week or low points that stand out?
Lowe's is just being away from my kids for this long. It's a lot different, but I get to go home and see them tomorrow.
Yeah, and they're excited.
Yeah. Highs, experiencing Nashville and getting to spend
First time to
week with
Nashville too, right?
Yes. Yep. Meeting your mom and dad.
Yeah.
That was
All my kids.
all your kids. Yeah. It was a good week.
Oh, we're moving right along, aren't we?
Yeah, man, we're all in. Like this.
His mom actually texted me tonight.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
This has moved past like we're just kind of hanging out. Yeah, we're locked in.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're locked in. That it?
That's it.
Okay, all right. Last topic or last segment of the night. We're gonna wrap it up. EVS picks for Philly. Going back to the 450 class. Over the past 39 years, EVS Sports has established itself as a leader in innovation and technology when it comes to designing protection gear for today's motocross riders. Athletes like RJ Hampshire, who just won, Kyle Chisholm, Freddie Norrin, Axel Hodges, and Travis Pastrana all wear EVS when they race, ride, or whatever Travis decides to do that day. Check out evs-sports.com and use the code VITALMX, that's all caps, VITALMX30 to save and gear up like the pros. Do not forget, if you're looking for knee braces, the new Axis Web Eclipse brace is out. I mentioned recently that I would love to try some. They're sending me some to try. I'll do a review on those things soon. But they also have the old Axis knee braces that are just the regular Axis carbon and sport models that were amazing. Then if you aren't a knee brace guy, they have the TP 199 and the Slayco 96 knee guards.
Yeah, I'd like to try the knee guard.
I think I have a set I can let you use. I don't want to give them to you because I do use them sometimes, but if you'd like to try them,
Yeah.
I'll hook you up.
The ones I have now when I ride, I really like them. They I
Yeah.
can grip the seat and stuff, but when I walk, they push into my shin. And
Okay.
yeah.
The TP 199s I wore when I rode pit bikes at TJ's house, and they're nice. They're good.
Yeah.
Apparently the Slayco 96 ones are a little bit upgraded. I don't know exactly what, but they're supposed to be really good, obviously. And then I always say I love their technical undergear, which is similar to a what's the name? The moisture wicking stuff. What do you call the main brand? Everybody thinks of when you go to like
Under Armour.
Yes, that stuff. It's like that. It's like tight fitting, moisture wicking material. I like to wear when I'm working out. They have padded shorts that I wear like as boxers. Basically, I just take the pads out. But they're technical undergear. If you like under protection type gear, just moisture wicking under stuff, their they call it tug technical undergear is amazing. So EVS picks for Philly 450 class. I'm just done. Jet wins. Eli second. Cooper Webb second.
They're going to tie for second?
Cooper Webb third, sorry. CW2, yeah. So that's my pick. Jet, Eli, Cooper.
I wonder where you got those ideas from.
Oh, from Nash? I didn't even think about it, honestly. I just think I'm done betting against Jet. I'm just done.
Yeah, but as soon as you don't pick him, or as soon as you pick him, then something crazy happens.
You know what? I'm a Cooper guy. So maybe I'm playing a strategy.
You picked him third, so
maybe I'm playing a strategy though, because the people I pick,
I do have a question actually. Do you what gap would have had to have been where the conversation became stronger for Tomac to let Cooper by? Because like
I don't think he would.
Even if he was like a second behind him.
If we're at the final round and that position means the championship,
it means a lot now.
It does, but it's not do or die. And I don't even know if Eli does it at the finals.
I thought that the gap was too big for him for it to really even be considered.
Yeah.
But if he would have been like right there on him,
I don't think Eli does.
Yeah,
I just don't.
Yeah.
Who are your picks?
I'm gonna go Tomac. Sexton's out, right? Or is he okay?
Well, we don't know. I don't think anything's broke. Nothing that we've known of. So I would assume he'll try to race.
I'm gonna go Tomac, Cooper, Hunter Lawrence.
Okay.
So I think I want to play something happens, something crazy happens.
All right.
Yeah, so I want Coop to keep making it interesting. So I want Webb, Tomac, and Jet.
All right. Well, there's our picks. MotoXpod@gmail.com. Want to hear your picks? Get them in. You want to make picks? I didn't think you would. I told her she had to pick her favorite rider. She picked Ken Roczen.
Ago.
Ken Roczen blows his shock up. She's like, thanks a lot.
Does that happen?
Yeah, thanks a lot. So anyway, but I just told her like it's a lot more fun. You get more into it when you have a rider that you're like, I want that guy to do well.
She has one.
Yeah, well, I'm not racing in Supercross, but I want to thank Jalek Swoll and Casey Cochran for coming on. I want to thank Race Tech and Yamaha Motors USA for presenting the show. I want to thank Guts Racing, FXR, X Brand, ProX, EVS Protection, Troll Training, Evans Coolant, Bled Lubricants, Barnett Clutches. Amber, thanks for coming and sitting in, and I love you.
I love you.